Hello, what's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to ya all. Good to see ya. What is up, dude, bro, man, guy, Emperor, Sage, Judinator, Lucid? How is everyone doing today? It is a wonderful day in the world of Magic. We got big bannings. Modern's back on the menu. We got a brand new format that I miss the old timer sound too, honestly, but the website did it. I can't control it. Maybe I'll have to look for another one and like do it myself because that timer is pretty bad. So yeah, we have Modern bannings. So we're playing Modern today, checking out the new format, which means we're upheavaling and Enigma Jeweling, and we got a brand new format coming to Arena that I'm actually like super hyped about. And we get spoilers today for Murders at Karlov Mansion. There's a lot going on in the world of Magic. Goldie, welcome to the Visual. Oh, Karn being on is so amazing. Welcome to the Visual. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. So here is the ban list update that we got yesterday. We talked about it on yesterday's podcast, which you can find over on the podcast YouTube. I guess reminders real quick. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find the old streams. Normal YouTube. We got so many YouTube channels now. Check out the podcast though. We go in depth on the bannings. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. Maybe you need a smuggler's copter now that it is freed in Pioneer. You can snag it. Well, if it's in stock, I didn't actually check. Over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. And thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the stream. So anyway, here's the big news. So yesterday's bannings, Pioneer, Karn, praise the magic gods. Do I hate Karn? I am so glad that card's gone. Karn is banned finally. Geological Appraiser banned. Okay, yes, like I get it. Like I honestly still don't think the Geological Appraiser deck is that good, but it is one of those super annoying removal check decks, so I understand why they banned it, and I am in support of the banning, even though I bet it was going to be like a tier 2 or 3 deck probably. But we don't really want a ton of these decks where you have to have removal on turn 2 or turn 3, you just die in the spot. Smuggler's Copter unbanned. Karn is still legal in Modern, yeah, so only banned in Pioneer. What do you think? Hey, what's up, Poloni? How are you? What do you think about the Copter unbanning? I'm actually, like, I'm super hyped for this. This was a card, when they said they were going to unban something, this is the one that I narrowed in on. It seemed like the most obvious choice. I think this is a big positive. I'm not convinced that Smuggler's Copter is going to be that good or broken in Pioneer, but I think it opens up some possibilities. It's a fair card. It's a fun card. I really like this unbanning, and I hope we see more of those. And then, of course, in Modern, Fury out of here, up a Beanstalk, the Beanstalk, since everyone gets mad about that, also out of here. Modern, I'm moderately happy. Like, I'm happy with these bannings. These cards are cards that I wanted banned, so I'm happy about the bannings. Little surprised that there was nothing done with Lord of the Rings. No Bowmasters banning surprised me. One Ring, of course. I didn't really expect the One Ring this time, but nothing changed with the One Ring. Grief, the scam partner of Fury, dodged the banning. So that's actually kind of surprising. So I'm happy with the Modern changes. I mean, we're going to play this janky Modern list today, so we're Moderning today. But I am a little bit surprised that they didn't ban more, at least like Orcish Bowmasters. I'm starting to wonder if they like can't ban Lord of the Rings cards, or maybe they are just trying to sell Holiday Edition and they gotta wait till Holiday Edition is done selling and then they can ban them. But I was a little surprised at nothing from Lord of the Rings. Do you think the Commander RC will ban something in Commander? When is the next Commander update? I don't think so. I think Dockside is the card that like probably the most conversation has been had around, and I think it would be a fine card to ban, but I would be surprised if they actually did do it. Yeah, that was the other big news. So we'll talk more about the bannings as we go along. Here is the other big news that has me incredibly excited. So you might have remembered a little while ago, we played the no ban list, or mostly no ban list format on Arena. So like no ban list historic, and we talked a little bit about like, could this be a real thing? Would they make this a real format? Because it's really unique, it's really fun. Well, yesterday Wizards announced Psycho Smurf, welcome to the Visual. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. That we're getting a brand spanking new format on Arena that's called Timeless. Timeless is essentially Arena Vintage. It's dropping next week on December 12th, so a week from today. So the idea of this format is every single card is going to be legal. There are no banned cards in this format. So every card that exists, we're talking about Necropotence and Dark Ritual, is going to be legal in the format. There are 3 cards that are so overpowered, they're not banned, they're restricted. So they're modeling this after Vintage. So Channel, Demonic Tutor, Tybalt's Trickery, they're still legal. You can still play them, but you can only play one copy in your deck. This is a trick that they stole literally from Vintage and Paper, where they want every card to be legal, but some cards you can't play 4 copies of. And I think this is a really cool way of handling this. Like, Channel is busted, but I don't think you can be a Channel deck if you don't have 4 copies of it, because you're not consistently going to have it on turn 2. Same with Tibalt's Trickery. Like, you can't build the Trickery meme combo deck if you only got one Tibalt's Trickery. Demonic Tutor, that one is kind of busted. Like, if you're in black, I think, and this is something we see in Vintage. In Vintage, if you look at the decks, there's a lot of restricted cards, and people play all those cards in a lot of decks. If you just look at a typical Vintage deck list, you will see a huge list of restricted cards. All the Power 9 is restricted. You get Ancestral Recall that's restricted. Mental Misstep, I believe, is restricted. Tinker is restricted. So I think we'll see that Time Vault restricted. Like, I think we'll see that in this new format, where if you're playing black, you're probably always going to play that one Demonic Tutor, because why not? Because it's a really strong card. What do you think of Timeless? What is your hype? I think for me, I'm so hyped about this format. I mean, Blood Moon. We have a format where Blood Moon's legal. We can actually play competitive Blood Moon. Christoph, welcome to the Fishbowl. What's up, Stone Rain? Thank you for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. My initial impression is, I think this replaces Historic for me mostly. I think I will mostly play Timeless over Historic. We'll see. Maybe the meta ends up like super busted and it's like not really all that fun, but I have high hopes that this is going to be a really, really fun format. And there's going to be some powerful stuff going on. You got Okos and Necros and Dark Rituals and Blood Moons. It's going to be wild. It is going to be a super, super wild format. So I am very excited for Timeless. Also, I mean, we got to talk about this deck and start playing Magic. Also, of course, spoilers coming up in about 2 hours. 2 hours from now, the early sneak peek stream for Murders of Karlov Mansion and Magic Universes Beyond Clue or something. I don't know, some clue set that is tied to Murders of Karlov Mansion. Yeah, we're gonna have some lessons to teach Zoomers now that we can actually play these cards. Why play Historic? So I think some people are going to want the lower power level, I guess. Some people will already have collections for Historic and aren't going to want to buy a bunch of Dark Rituals or whatever. So I don't know. Do you think this kills Historic? I could see that world. Well, the other thing that's exciting about Timeless, no rebalance cards. Every card will be the paper version of the card. There still will be alchemy cards. Those cards will be legal, but no rebalance cards. So you don't got to worry about is it wizards or whatever with the rebalance cards or some of those silly things, which if I had my choice, I would prefer no alchemy and no rebalance cards and just make it like full on paper. But really, I think rebalance cards are more of an issue for me than the alchemy cards. So if I had to choose just one, I would choose no rebalance cards and deal with alchemy cards, because I don't think there's that many alchemy cards that are really going to matter anyway. Lustful Jeans, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. We also got, so much news, and I promise we're going to play Magic. We're going to play Magic before spoilers start. We also got another Doctor Who drop, Secret Lair drop. There's a couple of unique cards. Most of them I don't really care about. 14th Doctor cares about doctors. This card, though, is actually intriguing to me. I actually think I might build a deck around this card. Purplesaurus Rex! I don't know who the Celestial Toymaker is. I don't know why that doll is so creepy. Look at that creepy doll. I guess he's also very creepy. Celestial Toymaker. Oh, welcome to the Fishbowl, Purplesaurus Rex. Big super chat for you. So this is a really cool card. It's an Esper 2/4 Legendary Rogue Artificer. When it attacks, you'll get the top 3 cards of your library, exile any number of them face up and the rest face down. Defending player chooses one of those piles to put in your hand. The more intriguing part is, it's got an ability that cares about something we have literally never seen before. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses 2 life for each spell or ability that caused one or more players to guess or to group cards or permanents into piles. So now we can actually build a guessing deck like Goblin Game. Goblin Game wrong colors for this though. But I'm actually very intrigued. Is that Neil Patrick Harris? It kind of looks like him. I'm actually intrigued by this second ability, like to build a deck that's built around grouping cards into piles. Like, we've just never seen this before. So I actually think it's a really cool design, even if I don't care about the toy maker itself. Alchemy is not a bigger issue than rebalance cards. Clash more with Alchemy is not the bigger issue, as rebalance cards clash more with the general audience. It's very unlikely alchemy cards that are made well for alchemy will have a huge challenge to be relevant in a powerful format like Timeless. I mostly agree with you, the Moss Rider Knight of Kamigawa. I will say, I don't think we'll see a huge impact right away from alchemy cards in Timeless, so it's in some sense a non-issue. Here's the thing that scares me, though. What I could imagine is Wizards doing like Timeless Horizons and printing a bunch of like really busted digital only cards specifically for Timeless. That's what scares me. I think the current, like how they're doing it now, which they're printing alchemy cards for a standard power level format, not many of those cards are going to actually make it in a vintage power level format. So right now I think it's actually more or less a non-issue. Maybe like Crucius or Fragment Reality. Like there's a handful of cards that maybe you'll see on fringe occasions, but I think it's fine. But I am a little concerned that we get a Timeless Horizons with just a bunch of wild alchemy cards. That would be something that was disappointing. I'm very excited for Timeless. I think it's going to be the non-standard arena format I play the most on Arena. Oh, Key to the Archive sounds decent enough. Maybe. It is format. Like, you gotta remember, you're dealing with Okos and Uros and Dark Rituals and Blood Moons. Like, this is gonna be a really powerful, really fast format. Hey, what's up, Affinity for Squirrel? Thanks for swinging by. Have a good day. Okay, so we got a little bit of time. We got a little bit of time before spoilers start and we watch the stream. So what are we playing today? And we're playing this super wild Upheaval Mindslaver Lock all the Signets Enigma Jewel deck. So Enigma Jewel, Commander Clash goes up every Friday. So next episode goes live this Friday. Enigma Jewel is, if you don't know this one somehow, Enigma Jewel, it's the new Soul Ring for abilities. It's a 1-mana legendary artifact. ETB stat makes 2 mana only for abilities. Then you can craft it. We're not really mostly crafting it. We're trying to use it like a Soul Ring. So why are we playing this card that only makes mana for abilities? Well, we have a trick to this. We have a trick. We also have Omen Hawker, which does something similar. We have all these Signets. Signets have abilities that make mana. Wow, so many subs. Lunar Van Harden, Sad News Bears, G-Bread Gamer. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Sheep Jeffrey, thank you. Today is the early look at Murders of Karlov Manor, or Murders at Karlov Manor, and also some Clue crossover thing, some Clue crossover thing. So the idea of this deck, we have Omen Hawker in Enigma Jewel. They make a ridiculous amount of mana, but only for abilities. So we're playing all these Signets. Signets have an ability where you pay 1 and then you make 2 mana. So this lets us filter our fake mana from Enigma Jewel and Omen Hawker into real mana that we can use for anything. So hopefully we will dump a ton of Signets. Upheaval, you bounce all your stuff, win with Upheaval. We can also dump a ton of Signets, find our Mindslaver. Our Mindslaver we can loop to seal all of our opponent's turns with Academy Ruins. We can tutor up the Mindslaver with Inventor's Fair. We can also just like play Urza and like do the Urza-y stuff, spin randomly, make huge constructs. Nimble Obstructionist is also very cute. Cycling is an ability. So Enigma Jewel plus 1 real mana lets us cycle our Nimble Obstructionist. So in theory, like on turn 2, we can stifle our opponent's fetch land activation or something. So that's the plan of the deck. It is Enigma Jewel Signet shenanigans with Upheaval thrown in, and let's play some Magic. Let's do it. Let's jump into it. Yeah, the deck does look really interesting. Where is the spoilers for MKM happening YouTube? So there's a WotC stream. There's a WotC stream at 1 where they're going to be doing the doing the sneak peek or early look at Murders at Karlov Manor. So we will watch it together. We'll watch it together once it goes live. And then I'll probably... So the idea is we talk about stuff, play some Modern, watch the stream together, and then I'll probably do a spoiler video for the YouTubes. Hey, how you doing, Stone Rain? Send me a message sometime. I've been thinking about you. Want to see how you're doing with all your house stuff you've been dealing with. Hey, Seth, been putting a lot of work into that standard combo deck. I think it's really close now. Ooh, I'd love to see an updated list. So, hey, what's up, Reindeering? Yeah, early spoiler stream. So, what do y'all think about? Let's start with the bannings. What do you think about the bannings? Happy, sad, don't care. Oh, awesome. That's pretty good, Stone Rain. I know sometimes specialists are like 3 months from now. so the fact that it's only a couple weeks from now, I think that's probably a win. They are bringing MH3 to Arena. Oh, they also announced that Fetches will not be in Historic, but they will be in Timeless. I mean, I hadn't played Modern in like a month. Would have liked Grief Band. Yeah, we'll see. I think Scam is still a thing. It's not as good, which I think is a positive. I'm glad it's not as good, but I do think Scam will still be a real deck. Probably Orzhov or Mono Black. Whew. All right, let's do some jeweling. Well, okay, we have One Rings and a way to ramp into One Rings. I mean, we're playing Modern. Modern's pretty fast and powerful, but we can... I mean, I think we keep this, right? Like, what else are we going to do? So, turn 1 Expedition Map, turn 2 Signet, turn 3 One Ring. All right. Let's go about it. Let's go. Hot take, Scam wasn't the best deck in the format. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, God. Okay. That's bad. That's very bad. All right, well, Expedition Map. Well, opponent, would you like to steal some signets? Turn 1 Ragavan and we can't kill it. That is discouraging. Why is our chat so... There we go. There we go. That's better. Well, here comes the monkey. Stream mode achieved. So, was Scam the best deck before the banning? I mean, that's up for debate. I don't think we can say it's the best deck. Ragavan. Yeah, we're just going to get monkey snowballed here. How about it? Going to play our Nimble Obstructionist. Well, we will do what any good commander player would do and play a Signet on turn 2. All right, opponent, can you beat our Is It Signet? Scam might not have been the best deck, but it is... It is the most played deck that was good enough to win a lot, and it also has a horrible play pattern. So I think when you add all those things together, it doesn't have to have the best win rate in the format to be a deck that deserves to be banned. Opponent going, they're just going to counter our One Ring, aren't they? I mean, if we stick the One Ring, there's some amount of hope. I'm just worried about our opponent, like, having a lot of mana and treasures and card selection here, so I don't have a high hope that this One Ring's going to resolve. Well, we've learned. Modern, they may have banned Fury, but Modern Horizon's still live and well. I like the bannings, but wish they did more in Modern. Would like to have seen more unbans. Also, does the introduction affect how much you will play Explorer on Arena? Nah, I don't think so. I think that for me, Timeless isn't... It's not really competing with Explorer. It'd be competing with Historic. So my expectation would be decks that we maybe would have seen in Historic would show up in Timeless instead. But I don't think it'll affect in Explorer meaningfully. I mean, maybe in the very short term. Usually when a new format releases, I get really hyped about it and play it a lot. So maybe for like a week or two. But long term, I don't think it will have any big impact. What are the odds you've seen the GTA V trailer above 0? I saw a tweet about it. Does that count? I saw the logo. Actually, I actually like GTA. I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, but I would play GTA 6. I might have to get it. Come on, please don't counterspell this, you dirty MH2er. About it. Monkey mana. The monkey mana. All right, opponent's going to counterspell. I mean, we have this upheaval in hand. The problem is we can't do anything. Like, turn 1 Ragavan is the nightmare of nightmares for this deck. We don't really have a way to interact with it. It's just gonna get us, and it's gonna keep getting us. I imagine our opponent just counters everything we do for the rest of the game, and we get sad. Opponent hits us with the monkey and our obstructionist and makes a treasure, steals our inventor's fair, plays his team events untapped, passes. Well, we will play a land, and we will play a boom, 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 One Ring. Opponent, are you countering it again? Come on. Come on. Come on. Hooray. Hooray. I'm running Bant Control. Ooh, sweet. I mean, Bant has a lot of good cards. You get the Okus and the Uros. Ego, welcome to Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your that was a nightmare. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Okay, so that was about as bad as the game could go. What do we do about this? So our opponent just literally played a Ragavan and countered literally everything we did that game. We did not resolve a non-signet spell. Well, I guess we resolved this expedition map, but that was it. They need to do a better job of helping new players get the mana base for Timeless Historic Explorer. How can they do that? I mean, the thing is, even if we stick one on turn 1, we're still like getting smacked around by Ragavan, right? That's kind of the issue that we don't have an answer for. Maybe we're supposed to be ensnaring bridging. Maybe that's the most realistic. Like, does Nimble Obstructionist actually matter? Does Nimble Obstructionist do anything? Beseiju, I guess, can make sure our upheaval doesn't get countered. Doesn't help with the other stuff, though. Land wildcards would be sweet. Well, all right, go down. Let's trim a couple obstructionists. And then I guess just like a signet or two. All right, run it like that. Run it like that. Yeah, I mean, that is the feel bad, right? Well, I mean, we have an Enigma Jewel on turn 1. I don't know that it does anything, but we do have it. I guess the Enigma Jewel lets us cycle the Shark Typhoon. We can untap the Enigma Jewel with our Manamo. All right. I mean, we got the Enigma Jewel. We do have the Enigma Jewel. Ooh, let me see Stone Rain. Well, all right. We will Island and Enigma Jewel. Let's see if this changes. Does this change the equation? Opponent does not force it. All right. Polluted Delta. I mean, I guess cycling the Shark Typhoon could be a way to stop a Ragavan. Our opponent can probably just bolt it, but still. All right. There's the Dirty Monkey. Opponent passes. Well, we will play an Urza Saga. Yeah, they can have a bolt. If they have a bolt to kill the Shark Typhoon, then I mean, I guess at least it made them use a bolt in some of their mana. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent goes attacking. Well, I mean, we gotta go for it. 1-2, 1-2. Please no bolting. Just let us kill this stupid monkey. All right, Shark Typhoon. Cycle it. Draw a card. Make a shark. Another Enigma Jewel. Second Enigma Jewel is not that helpful, unfortunately. Wait, do we get to block? Do we get to kill the stupid monkey? Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. We survived. We survived the Ragavan. That's actually huge. That's huge, because now we get to start making Karnstructs. Yes, we will pass the turn. Okay, things are looking up. Oh yeah, we're definitely upheavaling. Enigma Jewel and upheaval. Yes, the bans have taken effect in Modern. Timeless finally allows us to play Blood Moon. I know, that's one of the reasons I'm super hyped for it. Well, let's make a Karnstruct. Man, Enigma Jewel is kind of a soul ring if all your stuff has abilities. So we get to untap. We draw an Omen Hawker. Well, we will make a Karnstruct number 2. Tutor up a expedition map. Play a Tuara. Go to combat. Hit ya. Oh, this is going a little bit better. This is going a little bit better. Opponent. Oh, this is going way better. Oh yeah, we have all the cards that I love. We got ensnaring bridges. We have ensnaring bridges. We got the opponent. We got the upheavals. Opponent's cracking their fetch. I don't know what they're doing over there. Oh god. Okay. Archmage's Charm. That's annoying. That's annoying. Well, play the Omen Hawker. We have a lot of mana for abilities. We could use some more abilities for the mana. This deck would really... Oh, One Ring. One Ring Urza, something like that would be sweet. Can we see the Karlov Manor spoiler somewhere? So the spoiler stream starts at 1. So once the stream goes live, we'll flip over to it and watch it together, see what is going on with this Murders at Karlov Manor set. I hope Timeless means we get more paper remastered sets and Horizon sets. Yeah, I would like that too. Well, let's just... What I really want, and I don't know if they'll do this. Yeah, Dominator Remastered. What I really want is them just to put all the supplemental sets on Arena. To me, that is the dream. That's what I want to see, is all the supplemental sets. Maybe it's like too much work. Wouldn't that be the ideal though? Imagine how good like Brawl would be if you got all the Commander precons, you get all the remastered sets. We'd work towards Modern. Timeless would be like so sweet. It would be super, super sweet. So it is about 1.5 hours from now is when the spoiler stream is. Yeah, Conspiracy, all that stuff. The combo list needs a Wrath in the main. I could see that. Yeah, it's definitely a fun idea, Stone Raid. A Wrath in the main definitely makes sense to me. All right, what are we doing here? Huh. Tony has 3 mana. Well, I guess we just Urza Saga. Let's just Urza Saga. And pass? But it's like really wants a One Ring. Yeah, I guess it's Urza Saga pass. We would like to find the One Ring. Mindslaver would also be interesting if we could resolve it somehow. Opponent, thank it. Opponent's not doing a ton, which is nice. Passes. Ooh, there's an Obstructionist. That could do some work. That might actually do some work. Play the Inventor's Fair. Yeah, let's get in with the Construct. Opponent takes 2, sure. Ooh, can we get him with the Obstructionist? Is that possible? I mean, so chat, what format do you think you'll play more? Timeless or Historic? Opponent with the Pump Fake. Do you think that someday we'll see all the secret layers on Arena? I don't know why they don't put them on there, right? Like, all they need to do is, for a lot of them, is put on some custom art, and their reward is they get absolutely, like, just free money. People would pay for the card styles. I don't know why they don't do it, honestly. It is strange to me that they don't do that already. Well, make a Construct. We gain a life. We draw an island. Well, okay. Make a Construct. Maybe we can just win with Constructs. Make a Construct. Tutor. Like, our Constructs are bigger than the Murktides. Take an Ether Spellbomb. Ooh, oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. Bounce the Murktide out of here. Go to combat. Hit ya. An Enigma Jewel. Enigma Jewel is actually working. The Tony Mac. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you. Doesn't it seem like free money, though, to just put the art on there? Like, it's got to be easy. The Tony Mac. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Yeah, Timeless, I think, is the one I'll play. I'll play Timeless, but I really wish they'd get rid of digital-only cards in the format. I'm so curious. What Wizards thinks of them. From every, like, it's such a hard thing to talk about, because Wizards won't share their data, which makes sense. The data that we have publicly suggests that alchemy is incredibly unpopular, but that data isn't good enough for people when the argument comes up. So there's not, like, I don't know, if you say, well, like, alchemy is not popular because of this tracker or whatever, people are just like, oh, that doesn't count, that's a tracker. So it's very hard to actually have a conversation about it. I will say, so alchemy cards are in Timeless, and if you're going to make digital only cards and you're going to make vintage, I guess you have to include them, right? Like, even though I personally would, my dream world is they put all the supplemental products on Arena and those replace alchemy. Don't make digital only cards. Just put on all the commander precons and that'll be the like spicy stuff to keep the formats new and fresh. Like, that's what I would like to see. But in the world we live in, you can't make vintage and then not have all the cards legal, right? So I understand why they did it. I don't think the problem is digital cards in Timeless. If there's a problem, it's that they're doing the cards at all and like, I gotta put them in Timeless. Timeless is going to be combos only with practice only free interaction. It might be. I think he might be laying on the bed. Bear is going to do some puppy playtime. Let's see. Is it worth bringing relics? Probably not. Unpopular opinion, most alchemy cards are fun. I mean, yeah, that might be kind of true-ish. I mean, there's a lot of cool designs in alchemy, right? It feels so forced sometimes. I think that's part of the issue. Opponent, oh, come on, no. Okay, no monkey, that's good. Thankfully not a monkey. Hey, Bear. Go see Rocky. Go see Rocky. It's okay. Go ahead. Go see Rocky. It's okay. Go ahead. Go. It's okay. Hey, Bear. Look. Go see Rocky. All right, there. Oh. All right, Bear. He's going. He's going to play with his friend. Problem with alchemy cards is reading them doesn't say what it does. Yeah, that is a big part of it, right? I feel like, so I think part of the reason that I think being critical of alchemy makes some sense is I feel like the fact that Wizards knows they can rebalance them has led to some issues where you don't have to do as much quality control because you're like, well, like, worst case, we'll just rebalance our problems away. So I think we've seen some of that. How do we do this? So we can't really play two things. We can't, if we play two things, they trigger Ledger Shredder. Maybe that's fine. So we play an island. Play Demir Signet. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, okay. This is fine. We'll just pass. We'll just pass and leave up our Obstructionist, right? We actually have the mana that we can stifle something. Oh, come on. Fetch. Dragon Rage Channeler. Okay, that's not exactly a fetch. Steam Vents. Also not a fetch. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will take the 1. Untap. Oh, Urza. Urza would be so good. Cons will be draftable. I was looking at it. What from, are you going to try Explorer after the bans? Yes, we'll definitely, like, I was very hyped to play Modern again because we haven't played Modern in a minute. So I'm very excited to see what Modern's about post-bannings. But we will definitely do some Explorer and Pioneer too. I'm very sad the Smuggler's Copter is not on Arena. That makes me very sad. That was, like, one of the most exciting parts of the BNR was getting rid of or freeing Smuggler's Copter, but we can't play it on Arena because they haven't added it yet. I was looking at cons, and I'm glad they're adding cons. How big of an impact do you think cons actually is going to make, though? How much do we care about Obstructionists? They're definitely representing a counter spell. Well, play the Urza Saga. Step 1. Play Is it Signet? Step 2. And I guess we just we have made a lot of mana. We have definitely made a lot of mana. We need our opponent to tap down maybe so we can resolve this Urza. I guess worst case, we start making big constructs. Blood Moon. Okay. I mean, I think this is actually... I mean, it's annoying because we're going to lose our Urza Saga. But opponent's going to go down to 1 blue source, and we have, like, infinite mana. I think this is actually kind of fine. We finally got our opponent to tap down. Oh, this might actually be good for us. So they get our Blood Moon. Good for you. Opponent, are we attacking? Are you afraid of the Nimble Obstructionist? You saw it in game 1. Are you afraid we're going to flash it in? We will. If you do, we will. If you don't, we're going to slam this Urza, though. That's also very bad for you. Wow, opponent just passes. Well, okay. 1, 2, and 3. Nimble Obstructionist. Untap. Draw Enigma Jewel. 1, 2. Wow, look at the synergies. Tap that Signet, make some real mana. Tap that Signet, make some real mana. Play Urza. Make a construct. Oh, we don't have a way to defend it. You know what? All right, you're going to get to do your Ledger Shredder stuff. Actually, let's attack first. Let's go to combat. Get in with the Nimble Obstructionist. I mean, I can respect a good Blood Mooning, but I feel like we're still in pretty good shape here. Opponent takes the beats. Well, we will. Expedition map. You get to do your conniving. Yeah, this deck's super cool. This deck is very unique. Enigma Jewel is such a cool card. It's just such a wacky, weird design. Yeah, we haven't got an upheaval yet, but on the short list. What do you think about cons? I was thinking, so I'm excited about cons coming to standard, or coming to arena. I'm excited about fetch lands, but then I was looking at cons, and I was like, is this set actually not that impactful somehow? Like, outside, so fetch lands obviously double, triple, S tier, like as good as cards can be, as best cards in all of Magic, most important cards of all of Magic, really, really big. Beyond that though, like, what do we actually get on arena that we don't already have that's gonna shake things up? I guess like the delve spells is probably the biggest outside of the fetch lands. Those are big. Stubborn Denial is actually a very playable counter spell. Like that will see play on arena somewhere. I guess like Jeskai Ascendancy is kind of a B tier combo deck in Pioneer. There are some fun cards. Like we've never had Villainous Wealth, and they're doing the whole set, so they don't have the like, oh, we didn't feel like programming Villainous Wealth excuse. So I'm sure we can get a good like Villainous Wealth against the odds. Or Villainous Wealth. I do love getting people with Villainous Wealth. Yeah, maybe we can recreate like 5-color humans. That could be a possibility. Now that we have Mantis Rider, maybe 5-color humans could actually be a thing. Wow, the Force of Negation. The Expedition map of all things. Well, Enigma Jewel. And I think we hold on to this Ottawa. We might need this Ottawa in the future. We would really love our Ursa to live. That would be sweet. Expressive Iteration. Opponent gonna go digging. And Surveillant. Trying to find a way to get rid of our Urza before we start spinning to win. Opponent's down to 15. We got the better board at the moment, and we have a removal spell in hand, and we're like a draw away from really getting them. Engineered Explosives. All right. Obnoxious. X0. So I can get rid of our Construct. I mean, that is kind of a problem. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can't spin Urza twice, unfortunately. Abominations of Grudul? What? Oh, is Girdered Merklurker. Yeah, I guess there are some good names from cons, aren't there? So what is... So this is just cons. It's not actually even remastered, I don't believe. My understanding is it's literally just a full set of Cons of Tarkir. Not remastered, not the other sets from the block. Just the exact 260. Did they make 269 card edits as a meme? Was that a joke back in 2014? It had to be, right? well played, Watsy. Well played. But as far as I understand, it's just literally the 269 cards. The whole thing, nothing missing. KTK is a cool draft format. All right, so opponent smacks us a bit. Plays another Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, we dropped to 13. We draw another Urza. Even more Urzas. Well, if we go to combat... So if we go to combat, we can hit our opponent, attack our opponent. Opponent takes the beats. Down to 8. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we really just spinning Urza? Should we just play the second Urza? Is that better? Well, they have the engineered explosive, so it's not better. Yeah, I think we actually just spin Urza. So spin Urza. Hit an island. Not ideal. All right, we'll pass the turd. Whew, I don't know. We might actually be in trouble here. We might be in trouble. So we can bounce the Ledger Shredder. But we don't have enough clock to win, and we haven't found like a one ring or anything. We're making lots of mana. We need the upheaval. We need an upheaval. Upheaval would be very good. Opponent gonna go to combat. Opponent. Attacks. Well, we will channel Ottawa. Get rid of the Ledger Shredder. Oh, dear God. Tishana's Tidebinder. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, we're going to die. Oh, come on, deck. Come on, deck. Be good. Upheaval. Academy Ruins does nothing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, we really need this Ursa to be good. We need to spin into an upheaval. We can't win by attacking, right? Is there any other pathway here? Let's think. So Academy Ruins doesn't do anything. Yeah, Tishana's Sidebinder is still good. So if we just swing out, our opponent blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So I guess we have to spin first, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Urza. One ring upheaval. That's what we're looking for. Urza Saga. That doesn't change anything. Well, okay. Okay. That was a little bit of a pun. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it all comes down to the spin anyway, although we could add an extra land in play. All right, one ring or upheaval. Those are the two cards. I guess it's fair that I get got by Blood Moon once in a while. Come on, Urza. One time. All right. Yeah, we did not. Oh, I thought Urza was supposed to be good. Pay 5 mana, exile a land. Not as effective as I was hoping. No upheavals, no one ring. We just didn't have any of our good. I mean, I guess we had Urza. I feel so. This deck, it feels very explosive, but it's also kind of airy, if that makes sense. Like, if you look at the deck list, we have so many cards that just make mana. Like, mana production, mana. So really we have 4 Shark Typhoons, which are kind of real cards. We have 4 Urzas, which we did find an Urza that game. 4 One Rings, Mindslaver, 2 Upheavals. So I feel like we need to hit some of those cards too. That's where we kind of failed that game, is hitting some of those payoffs. I feel like the One Ring is probably like seriously the best card in this deck by a million miles. I feel like that's the card that like makes the whole thing work. Yeah, Tidebinder was brutal. Oh. That really changed things because we would have had 2 more turds, which is another draw, a bunch of Urza spins. But that Tidebinder really got us. Well, I mean, we got all of our ramp spells. Can we find something to ramp into? That's a question. Spoiler stream's about an hour and 20 minutes from now, 1 Eastern time, so we got a bit to go. Oh God. We have many islands. Merfolk? Oh boy. All right, well, Upheaval, One Ring, soon, please. Top of the deck, at the top of the deck, please. We're gonna have the ramp, but Merfolk is a clock. Also Tidebinder, the bane of our existence. So this is the sneak peek early whatever stream for Murders at Karlov Manor, the next big standard set, and apparently some sort of Clue crossover. What's the Clue crossover set? I guess I should look this up. Well, there's no way we can play this deck without putting an island on the battlefield, right? It's just gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think there is. So we will play an Enigma Jewel. Go. So the standard set is Murders at Karlov Manor, but there was like, it must be a Universes Beyond, like Commander Precon or something. Deep Root Pilgrimage. I'm kind of interested to see this because I'm not convinced this is a playable card, although it is probably going to go off against us since we don't really believe in interacting. All we do is make mana. That's, my God. My God. Well, okay, so we get to play an Urza Saga. Our Urza Saga will let us play a Dimir Signet. We can use Enigma Jewel mana to play an Omen Hawker and pass the turn. I mean, we could almost Mindslaver already. It's literally just Clue? No. They're spoiling Clue the board game? No. Is it really just Magic no. Oh no. Is that really it? I thought it was Magic cards, but it's actually just the board game? Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. Oh boy. So what Magic characters do you think will be the Clue characters? Like, who is... Oh my God, I don't remember their names. I know there was a Miss Scarlet, Professor Mustard, Colonel Mustard. Nimble Obstructionist. That is a good card. I don't know how it saves us from our current predicament of fast and sudden merfolk death. Okay, so, well, play an Omen Hawker. Play a Tuara. Play an Omen Hawker. And yeah, pass the turn. We need an ability. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have it's turn forward. We have like 14 mana for abilities, but no abilities worth activating. Hey Seth, have you seen the blue-white artifact deck that recently top 8'd back-to-back standard? Oh dear. Back-to-back standard challenges. Do you think that deck has some legs to stand on, or is it just a flash in the pan thing? Let me see if I can look up the deck list. I don't know if I've seen this exact deck list or not. So opponent goes on the big attack. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two. So, I mean, we have to bounce this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But then we don't have enough mana to Urza Saga. I mean, I guess the Karnstruct isn't going to do anything against Island Walk anyway. All right, so bounce the Lord of Atlantis. I think we just have to do it this way, unfortunately. So bounce the Lord of Atlantis. Save ourselves a tiny bit of damage. Opponent makes a dork. I mean, I guess we can block another Lord. Yeah, I mean, we have enough Omen Hawkers. I think this is worth it. So block here. We need a draw. We need a draw. So get rid of the Lord. Drop to 9. Draw an Enigma Jewel. Very good at drawing Enigma Jewels. Karnstrike still doesn't do anything. Well, let's float a mana. Get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get an expedition map. Oh, and we're short an artifact even? How do we get a 1 ring? So we can get the Inventor's Fair. We don't have that much mana though. Wow, I think we actually just cold cycle this. We need to hit something. We're like at death's door. All right, Signet. I guess that's not a complete surprise. Well, crack this. Get Inventor's Fair. Play Inventor's Fair. Play a Signet. And pass the turn. Do we live? So if they play Lord of Atlantis, we survive, right? We go to 1. Okay, there's a Lord of Atlantis. The problem is they could also have a force here. Opponent attacks. Deep-root Pilgrimage doing its thing. Upheaval would be really good, but... Well, okay. I mean, we can get a 1 ring. I don't know if we can resolve a 1 ring, but I think getting the 1 ring makes sense. So sack the Inventor's Fair. Come on. Come on, deck. Grab a 1 ring. Untap. Hoping... Oh, and we draw another 1 ring. Oh. But the 1 ring doesn't even really do anything because... because we can't activate it without dying, so we can't even draw cards with it. It's just protection for a turn. Do you have the force? Do you have a force? Oh, no. Okay. Well, I mean, we get a 1 ring. Yeah. So we're not dead yet. We get to survive a turn. Hey, what's up, Cop Flourish? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. What is this? Oh, I lost track. What is the standard deck someone mentioned? So standard artifact deck that won the challenge. I think I see the one. Markanomes is pretty sweet. I mean, I don't know, like... So if you go back to the very first Against the Odds deck we played, we were trying to win with the Millennium Calendar, but we played a bunch of the artifacts together, and there is some sweet synergies there. So I mean, I think this could be like a real-ish archetype. Real enough to like be a, you know, like a second or third tier deck. What are our outs? Resolving an Upheaval. I mean, so we get to untap. We can draw with the One Ring. I don't even know if we can. All right, so opponent is going to tap a land. Yeah. Okay, so One Ring does its thing. We draw an Urza. That doesn't do anything. So draw with the One Ring. Play an island. Well, okay, so we get to play another One Ring. See if it resolves. All right. Well, we're not dead. We're not all the way dead. So we get protection for another turn. No, we are all the way dead. Okay, Tidebinder. Well, I will say so far this deck has not really impressed me. I want to see it go. I need an upheaval. I need a Mindslaver. So far, all we have done is played Mana Rocks. Maybe my brain is not big enough to play this deck. Maybe it's too big brain for me. Let's run it back. Bring in the bridges. Bring in the bridges. By the way, Seth, have you heard of the newest Best One Historic deck where you cheat Geist the Saint, draft into play on turn 1, have the same deck but use Oracle of Alpha instead, manage to get 5 of each Mox on the battlefield? Yeah, the zombie hunt deck. Yeah, I've seen it. I have seen it. It's definitely a funny meme for sure. The idea is neat. It's like, it's very alchemy though. Well, there's two things. One is it's very alchemy because it's built around a fragment reality. The other thing is it's just like it's like exactly Zombie Hunt, right? It's like a deck where you have to mulligan into 2 specific cards. And if you do, you get to like put a Geist of Saint draft into play on turn 1 or whatever. But I think as far as being a truly competitive deck, I think I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine it being competitive with the Zombie Hunt-esque play pattern. Well, this hand is interesting. This might be the deck at full power because... Oh, I think I messed that up, didn't I? I think we could have played another Signet. All right, that's fine. I think we could have played another Signet. We're still doing fine. So now we actually get to make a bunch of mana and play a One Ring, which is a little bit different. The Geist version is more competitive in Best of One. The math is the part that I think keeps it in check a little bit. Just if you have to mulligan until you find Fragment Reality and a ley line, some percentage of the time you just don't find it and then you just auto lose. What is do you play the deck regularly? Curious what your record is. Like, do you think it's actually a competitive deck? Well, let's see if our opponent has a force. It would be pretty sweet if they didn't. So, make some mana. Make some mana. Play a Signet. Oh, they have force. They definitely have force. They definitely have force. Oh, we can't not play it though, right? We have to play it. We can't not play our One Ring. Oh, do we play it, chat? If they counter it though, I think they have 4s. The problem is if they counter it, our game's just over, right? Like this is it. We're empty-handed. They know. Like if they just force this. I mean, turn 3. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I mean, there's this weird delay where it seemed like, so we played a Signet and our opponent sat there for like 15 seconds. I think that's like kind of a big tell that they had to have force in hand, because why else are you pausing on a Signet? Like, what are you even thinking about with a Signet? Well, okay. Top deck time. We need to top deck something. We have all the mana in the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, technically. All the mana in the world, but nothing to do with it. Opponent gets in. Whew, Force is brutal. Force is brutal. Come on, deck. Something good. Academy Ruins. Force Exiles. Okay. Oh, now they can start drawing with Zevulin. Yeah. I mean, what do we craft the jewel into, though? Another Signet? Force Exiles, which is a big part of the problem. So the Force Exiles, so it's not like we even have the One Ring in the graveyard to craft. If we could craft into a One Ring and start drawing cards, that would be worth it. But just crafting into a Signet does not seem like it does much. All right, opponent gets in. It's us down to 12. We draw. Well, that's a One Ring. If they drew another Force, I swear. Okay. Well, I mean, this Force is a little faster than last one. Maybe fast enough to matter. One Ring. Resolves. We resolved a magic card. Okay. Draw with the One Ring. Urza Saga. Oh, I'm very afraid of the Tidebinder. Tidebinder's so good against the One Ring. Like, they can just stonewall our One Ring with this merfolk that we know they're playing. We'll have to try that, but with Blood Moon and Timeless. Having turn 1 Blood Moon sounds fun. Oh, that could be sweet. Does that actually work? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put a Blood Moon into play. Turn 1 Blood Moon is pretty sweet. About it. Well, let's see if they found a Tidebinder. Gets in, draws a card with Zevulin. Makes a dork. Yup. 3 cards. Are one of them Tishana's Tidebinder? Opponent. Tide Shaper. To kill our Urza Saga. Well, that's not ideal. Those sneaky merfolk. Signet. Yeah, we have a lot of those in our deck. Well, One Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so we're super dead. Well, in that case, no reason to make a shark, but there is a reason to cycle this to try to hit something else. Shark Typhoon into Urza. Does that do anything? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess it lets us spin. Urza makes a construct. 1. I mean, we can't block because of this Lord of Atlantis, which is making this way harder. If we could block, but Merfolk, Island Walk. Well, all right, Urza, you've betrayed us every spin this entire league. Will you be good for once? Signet and death. Urza, Lord of Signets and lands. Players ask for better creatures. Removal gets worse. Players ask for better removal. Players get upset at new removal. Back to the start. Since Lost Caverns of Ixalan came to Arena, this Torrential Starjack has been working well for me. Sweet new additions. What do you think? Well, let me see, Winzo. Let me take a peek. Ooh, yeah. I mean, Souls of the Lost is a very big creature. I mean, I think Dredge. Are you playing best of 1 or best of 3? I feel like Dredge is probably one of the best of 1 decks that no one plays. Like, you can just, like, it's such a jank him out archetype. But yeah, I think like any good Dredge deck, as long as you don't fight, as long as you don't run into graveyard hate, it's very powerful. I mean, you just get so much power for free. How is Souls of the Lost Belt? I think the fact that it's also a discard outlet's pretty nice. Although, like, I don't know. Dredgeless Dredge, not as essential to be able to get a card from your hand in the graveyard, but even like Haunted Dead's a good one to be able to discard Prized Amalgam, so you get some value out of it. Yeah, it definitely seems like a nice addition. We finally found a Mindslaver. However, we only have one land. I mean, we gotta keep this. We gotta keep this. It's already gone so badly with this deck so far. I think we gotta go for it. Because if we draw another land, this might actually be a game where we can Mindslaver someone. This might actually be a game where we can Mindslaver opponent Blood Crypt. And are you gonna take our Mindslaver with a Thoughtseize? Oh, it's a Ragavan. Well, we do draw land. Okay, well, land and Omenhawker. Go. I'm kind of surprised there aren't more win cons in the deck. Yeah, this was a deck someone played. They played in a league and went 5-0 with, but maybe it might be a case of just kind of the good running. Maybe the 5-0s just from I mean, if you hit the payoffs at the right time, the upheavals at the right time. But yeah, I wonder if adding in more of that, maybe that would help. There are just so many signets. Or maybe, I don't know, is it a matter of like mulliganing more aggressively? But how far can you mulligan? Well, let's play a signet. Haha! Commandering the Great Destroyer. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Oh, there goes our Mindslaver. Well, dreams crushed. I mean, we do have the Academy Ruin, so in theory, we could eventually get it back from the graveyard. But yeah, our game plan was revolving on stealing our opponent's turn. I'm not going to get anything exciting at the minute, so I am leaving it to you. When you've gone to any Magic Fest GP, what's the favorite thing you've had while you've been there? Ooh. What is my favorite food that I've had at a Magic event? That's a good question. Let's play this Dimir Signet. Play this Simic Signet. Boy, if we were playing Commander, we'd be winning by a mile. We'd be about ready to drop our Consecrated Sphinx. maybe Genesis Wave, Crater Hoof. Blue Sun Zenith a bunch. We'd be off to the races. About it. Gets in with a Dragon Rage Channeler. I'm trying to think, what's some really good... It's so funny because... I don't know. Like, sometimes when you go to, like, a Magic Con, end up going to, like, a nice-ish restaurant, and it's okay, but a lot of times the really nice food, I like less than the less nice food. I'm more of a, like, steak and burgers kind of guy. So sometimes you end up going to like a nice restaurant and the food I think is just too fancy for me to enjoy. I'm like, can we stop at McDonald's on the way back? Not McDonald's literally, but let's see. Well, I mean, we get to do a bunch of cycling here. We'll see how relevant that is. So we get to make a somewhat big shark theoretically and draw a card. Our opponent is beating us down viciously. They could have Fatal Push because they're a black deck. Well, Shark Typhoon, X5. Unfortunately triggered the Bowmasters, which did not get banned. And Signet number 5. Signet number 5. We're doing it. Yeah, went to a good steakhouse in Vegas. Also at Richmond last year, they had a country... What was it called? All right, opponent kills the shark. But they had really good, like, southern food, like chicken and grits and stuff. That was really good. I also definitely had the, like, octopus and sushi, and I kind of like, Well, okay, so we can play Omenhawker as a chump blocker, play Urza Saga. The idea of this deck's really neat. The execution of this deck is a lot of signets. That is a lot of signets. Opponent. Well, now we're dead. I've never had this many signets on the battlefield in Manor before, I'll tell you that. this, how did, okay, so chat, answer me this. How did someone 5-0 with this deck? How did someone, how do you do it? Do you just like, how do you do it? How do you 5-0? Do you just draw the one ring every game? Is it one of those where you just like happen to like draw the one ring every time and like off to the races? Because so far all we've done is like played signets. We're 3 matches in and all we have done is played signets into signets into signets. Not sure if you ever pulled my list. I think we got past it. If you'd like to see it, yeah, I saw it. Stone Rain. The Wraths look cool for sure. I think the Wraths make a lot of sense. That's a cool idea to add them to the main deck. It makes sense because if you're trying to play everything that's 6 mana or more, definitely need a way to stay alive while you're getting things set up. So. What do you hope out of Murders? Also streamed today covering cons. I didn't get to draft it, but is it as legendary as everyone says? Cons is, I mean, it is a very good set. It was a very good limited set. It was a good constructed set too. So, I mean, I would say it's pretty legendary. People are probably, I mean, it's also from a time of Magic that people remember very fondly. So maybe it's overrated slightly because of the nostalgia aspect, but Cons is like a legit very good limited set and has a lot of good constructed cards. So, ooh, all right, there's a Mindslaver. I mean, we got one rings and a signet tramp into them. I feel like one ring to draw a ton of cards, any deck can win. If you have a one ring to just like go off and draw a ton of cards, opponent, Dragon Rage Shanoa, and passes. Well, Ottawa. And please don't counter our one ring. Please. Please. We want to upheaval. Oh, okay, Lightning Bolt. Okay, that's okay. A Lightning Bolt's okay. I thought they were going to Spell Pierce, but that's fine. I really don't know what to expect out of Murders at Karlov Mansion. To me, the concept of Murders of Karlov Mansion is very odd. Like, so Murders of Karlov Mansion, it's supposed to be a murder mystery set. It's Ravnica, but without guilds. It's a very, very strange mix. So I really don't know what to expect, honestly. It's just so different. So I'm gonna be surprised. Manor, okay, Karlov Manor. Thank you, the Galaxy. But yeah, I really don't know. What do you expect from it? Y'all with your manners. Do you think we'll get Shocklands? Not that likely since they're being reprinted in Ravnica Remastered. I think maybe it depends on if Wizards knew about 3-year rotation when they were making this set. If they knew that the Triomes were still going to be in Standard, no. I don't think they would put Shocklands in the set. If they expected that the Triomes would have rotated by now, yes, I think it's very likely that they could be in the set. Because remember, we got what? Creature lands so far this year. I think like a strong dual land cycle would be something that would make a lot of sense in the context of like designing Standard. So I think it really depends on whether or not they knew about 3-year rotations. Would it ever be possible to bring back multiple guests from the past, Tom, Mrs. Mulligan, etc., for Commander Clash? So we've had some of those people come on as guests. So we definitely, like, Tom did a season not too long ago. So stuff like that's definitely a realistic possibility. As far as what do we take here? Maybe just Inventor's Fair is fine. The life gain seems helpful. Yeah, let's Inventor's Fair and play another Signet. I mean, we're not that far away from trying to Mindslaver. No Enigma Jewel, but we actually are drawing cards with the One Ring. One Ring's kind of busted. Um, so as far as having like them come back for a whole season, probably less likely. But I think having them return as a guest episode is definitely possible. The other thing is just some of them don't really do content anymore. Like Jake, I've tried to like track down Jake and get Jake to come back and do like a guest episode, and he's just like he doesn't do magic, doesn't do content. So there's some people like that. Like even Jen, I think Miss Mulligan, Jen, she's just doing a lot more real life stuff now. Where when she did Commander class, she was really focused on doing magic content, and then she kind of like stopped doing as much magic content. So I think I would love to get more of those faces here and there, but yeah, it's hard because some people just like aren't really doing the magic thing anymore. But I would love to. A reunion would be cool. I was thinking about it's been almost 10 years since we started doing this. Like if you go back to the first podcasts and articles, we're pretty close to 10 years in. So maybe we got to do like some sort of 10-year reunion or something, try to get everyone back together. That would be really cool. Well, now what? So we draw with the One Ring. They flash in a Bowmaster. We cry. I mean, I think we have to do it, though. All right. Bowmaster. Wait, hopefully it's just one. Hopefully it's just one Bowmaster, not two Bowmaster. All right, there's the Bowmaster. Yeah. So we're going to take Infinite-ish. We draw some cards. Lands in an Omen Hawker. Not the best. Have we even seen an Upheaval? I don't think we've even seen an Upheaval with this deck, have we? In game one, we might have drawn it. We definitely haven't cast one. We haven't even had an opportunity to cast one. Well, play a land. I mean, we have to try to One Ring again or we're literally dead. Like, on the spot. So... One Ring again? Maybe? Okay, well, we get another One Ring. So we are temporarily alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, 9. Well, let's play Arcane Dimir Signet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would like to Mindslaver our opponent. It would be very sweet if we could Mindslaver them. I don't know if we can. Okay, untapped. Okay, opponent counters the Signet. Sure. Well, play the Omen Hawker. And pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, in theory, we could try to Mindslaver. I don't know if it'll resolve, but that's our best bet. If we could Mindslaver and then One Ring to trigger the Bowmasters and use it to shoot down our opponent's creatures, that would actually be really sweet. Good afternoon, just watch your banning videos. Glad they hit Fury. Beanstalk instead of actual problem cards should have been Grief. I definitely agree with Krim. Silly Wadsy. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Watsy's theory that like getting rid of Fury powers it down enough. We'll see if that holds up. I don't know if that's that will, but it would be nice if it did. Yeah, Jen had a really cool. I can't remember. She had a job that sounded really cool. I think she worked for like a Major League Baseball team or something. I want to say she like worked for the St. Louis Cardinals or something, which sounded like a really cool job. Well, all right, let's see what counters our opponent has. We are going to attempt to Mindslaver our opponent. Whether or not we can get it to resolve is another question, but boy, it would be cool. We draw a Signet, so we play an island. Well, this is all of our hopes and dreams wrapped up in to one artifact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cast a Mind Slaver? Please? Just let us steal your turn. Just one. We'll just take one turn for now. Maybe. I guess this also gets tidebound, doesn't it, if they had it? Wow. Oh, God. Mystical Dispute, eh? So we have to chump block now. Yeah, this is quickly becoming one of the worst decks we've ever played. It's just the nightmare of nightmares for this deck. No matter what we do, we are getting wrecked. Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to pass and chump. Could we have saved it by using... creatures to pay for signets? Opponent, Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah. Number 2. Is there any way we get out of this? Actually, wait. We just die right now, don't we? See, Bowmasters. They really should have banned Bowmasters. So could we have saved it by tapping the creature? Yes. Although, if we tap the creature is necessary to keep us alive. So if we tap the creature and they have a non-mystical dispute counter spell, then we kill ourselves. We can't really cycle Shark Typhoon because they have the Bowmasters. So cycling that just grows their army and deals more damage because Bowmasters is wild. TOR is such a boring card. Wait, what is TOR? Oh, the One Ring? Yeah, I mean, One Ring is... I mean, is it? I guess it's boring. It's a powerful card. Okay. Well, can this deck do a thing once? So my first impression of New Modern is the shift away from Rakdos has, and this is the smallest sample size. I mean, we're 3 games into a league, but it seems like the shift away from Counterspell, or from Rakdos, has led to a lot more blue Counterspell decks. We've played against a lot of, like, we played Grixis, we played Murktide, so it seems like Counterspells might be the new hotness as far as the mid-range style decks. It seems like a lot of them seem to be going to blue now. We have gotten all of our big artifacts countered a lot of times. Actually, every deck we've played is blue, right? It was Murktide, Merfolk, Grixis. So yeah, into Misty Rainforest. So yeah, I think we're on a heater of playing 100% blue decks at the moment. Which I don't know if that's good for us. We'll see. So we can play Dimir Signet. I mean, we can try to slam a fast Urza. That's a payoff. That's one of our payoffs. Make a little bit of mana. Play an Expedition map. Expedition map, crack it. I mean, this is pretty explosive. Like, look at what the mana from Enigma Jewel can do. That's a pretty explosive start. This was all on turn 2. Turn 2, we're playing Signets and playing a cracking Expedition map. So Enigma Jewel definitely has a lot of power. Oh, opponent. Oh, Living End. All right. So we're getting Living Ended. How do we stop Living End? Oh, this might actually be Crashing Footfalls. Opponent passes. And, well, I guess we play Urza's Saga and followed up with an Urza. So we can tap Enigma Jewel to turn on the Signet. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? We only have, yeah. We only have 2 blue mana anyway. So yeah, the Enigma Jewel doesn't actually matter. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Urza time. All right, Oliphant. Sure, gets a stomping grounds. Oh, it is Living End. All right, that's less fortunate. Oh my goodness, and another Street Wraith. Okay, well, no, chill, opponent. Oh, it's definitely Living End. Okay, Architects. Oh no. Oh, we're so dead. Okay, well, we played an Urza. Our opponent, on the other hand, I think might be putting about 20 power of creatures into play here. Shardless Agent. I wonder what this very chaotic Cascade mechanic will find at random. Living End? How lucky. All right, opponent. Well, there goes our Urza. Our opponent gets a very big board of creatures. 5, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, I guess we live one more turn, technically. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, we can't even cast an Upheaval, right? We don't have enough mana. Plus, I get to stack the top of our deck, so we're not going to draw anything meaningful this turn. But yeah, we don't have the mana. Like, Enigma Jewel only makes mana for abilities, and Upheaval is not an ability. So I think technically we can jump block and live for a turn. Wow, we draw an Urza as the card that they leave on top? Okay. Well, that's a little weird, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So we play an Urza. Is there a way we can survive the Living End? Like, we can make another construct. It's not like our opponent can really interact with it. Yeah, I mean, okay. We're sort of oddly alive-ish, relatively. Okay, opponent. They did their big thing. But we made a blocker. Spencer Williams, welcome to the... I'm trying to figure out how this deck 5-0'd. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Opponent. Attacks. Okay. And attacks. Sure. I mean, if you're attacking me those, you gotta attack with all of them, right? Doesn't that make the most sense? This thing's big. 5/7. Those massive ents. All right, here's the big attack. When it attacks, target creature you control gets +2/+0 when trample. That's going to be the Shardless Agent. All right, well, we will make a construct. And we will block here. Block here. So if we block like this, we take 6, 11, 15. But we don't lose anything. We could also trade with one of these. I think this is fine. All right, block. Violent outburst to pump the creatures. Have I missed your thoughts on the new arena format, Timeless? So that was one of the first things we talked about today. Yeah, that's game. Oh, the power of Cascade. All right, yeah. The pump sometimes matters. Upheaval. Upheaval. How about an upheaval? Urza. Urza's not an upheaval, though. Can we even spin Urza? I don't think so. So, make a mana. This goes away. Get an Ether Spell Bomb. 1, 2. I guess we can spin it, can't we? All right, well, playing Urza. Come on, Urza. You have betrayed us all day. All day, every day. Will you please, for once? It's gotta be upheaval. I don't even think the One Ring does it. I mean, the One Ring would, I guess, theoretically, technically let us stay alive for a turn, but, like, it's really gotta be upheaval. It's really gotta be upheaval. Come on, Urza. Come on! Come on, you can do it. You can do it, buddy. One time? All right, well, we won't complain about living, so we'll play a One Ring. Okay, that's better than being dead. That's better than being dead. Is there a way we can piece this together from here? So we survived so far the living end. We survived the violent outburst. Is there a way we can do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we don't have enough mana to Mindslaver. So opponent passes. I mean, I guess we can tutor up another One Ring. So we gain a life. Take 0. Draw a One Ring. Okay, that makes it easy. So we draw with the One Ring. Academy. Oh my goodness, Academy Ruins. Oh, there's a way. There's a window here. There's a window here where we could do this. So we play Academy Ruins. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need to play the One Ring. We need to activate this to get Mindslaver. Oh, if we get Forced Negation, I'm going to cry. But we might actually be able to lock him. We might be able to lock him. We might be able to actually lock him here. Okay, so first we have to resolve the One Ring. Please don't counter this. That would make us sad. We would die. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Play a One Ring. Keep the new One Ring. Get protection. Play the Omen Hawker. It might be happening. It might be happening. Pass the turn. We could put the One Ring on top. But eventually they'll... So that would give us protection to not die. But eventually they'll draw into the Force, right? And fizzle it and then kill us? So I think that would... If we don't find... if we can't do anything else, that's a way that we can stay alive for a couple of turns. I think we can just get the Mindslaver lock, though. And that actually ends the game. Do we have enough mana? All right, Generous End. So opponents tap down. It didn't seem like they had a Force. Okay. Do we have enough mana? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We definitely have enough mana. We definitely have enough mana. So 1, 2. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're finally going to do it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Crack the Inventor's Fair. Search up the Mindslaver. Oh, the dream is finally coming true. Search up the Mindslaver. Untap. Take 0. Draw a Signet. So, let's see. So tap this. Tap this. Tap this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So play the Mindslaver. 4 mana, Mindslaver you. Control your next turn. And then tap you, play the Signet. And we should have them, right? Like that should be the game. That should be the game now. Do we actually do it? Enigma Jewel finally pulling its weight. Opponent. Okay. Well, we will discard the Waker of Waves. Go digging. Let's see what you got going on over there, opponent. What do you got going on? Ooh, Force of Negation. We don't want you to have that. Misty Rainforest. Play the Misty Rainforest. Crack the Misty Rainforest. Fail to find. How do you like us now? So opponent does have 3 Force of Negations in their deck. Otherwise, pretty typical. Pretty typical stuff. And then we'll run out the Shardless Agent. Might as well. Do we want to Cascade? We do have Urza in the graveyard. But we lose the Omen Hawker? So probably not. No. No Cascade. Opponent gets a Shardless Agent. Sure. And then cycle the Oliphant. Fail to find. Nothing to find. And, alright, pass the turn. Wait, do we still have enough mana? Oh no, do we have to count? Do we have enough mana? So 1, 2, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, I think we have exactly enough? I guess I should have counted this more carefully. I'm pretty sure we have exactly enough. So we untap, stop on our upkeep. During our upkeep, we will put Mindslaver. So if we put Mindslaver on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have exactly 10. Hey, thank you, Hoku. Welcome to Twitch. Is this actually the way to do it? So Enigma Jewel could turn into Mindslaver. The problem is we would still have to sacrifice it, and then it would go away. So it'd be a one-shot. So, like, we'll mill our opponent out eventually. It's just so slow. Like, we could get the One Ring. We know our opponent has nothing relevant in hand. Yeah, I think this feels so awkward, but I think we actually take the One Ring here. So we take the One Ring. We draw the One Ring. We need to get, like, just one more source of mana on the battlefield, basically. Draw with the One Ring. Okay, that makes it way easier. So play the Omen Hawker. Because we do need to be able to kill our opponent, remember. That is also a part of this. Our opponent does need to die. We need a way to make them die. So Signet, play the second One Ring. Legend Rule. And then I guess we might as well spin Urza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin Urza. All right, cast a second Enigma Jewel, Legend Rule. Pass the turn. Okay, now, but we are going to time out, right? If our opponent just... The timing out's the issue. We've demonstrated the loop. The problem is our opponent's not scooping. And if our opponent doesn't scoop, we have to do this enough times for our opponent to mill out, which is just not realistic. So we're going to get back the Mindslaver. We win quicker with Mindslaver because we have enough mana now. We have enough mana now that we can start eating our opponent's creatures. by making them chump attack. So, 1, 2. Man, hopefully their one draw was not a force. I would cry. I would cry. So tap, 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 tap. 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play the Mindslaver. No. Okay, Cycles Curator. Cycles Riverwinder. Oh, God. Please. Okay, resolves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mindslaver you. Steal your next turn. And now we get to start eating the creatures. And getting an opponent scoops it up. You could hope that they lose. I mean, we got them. We got them with the Mindslaver. We did. We just decked them. Yeah, I mean, we do deck them eventually. It just takes so long. Like, they have 33 cards. So just going through the loop, I think we time out. Mindslaver, yeah, Mindslaver just let you use your opponent's clock. That would be hilarious. The only problem is if you use your opponent's clock, that would be so abusable, right? You just like Mindslaver and auto win because you just do nothing until they run out of clock. Yeah, and I don't know. I was thinking, like, is there any context where we actually craft Enigma Jewel? So, like, you could craft with Mindslaver, but then you got to sacrifice it. So that's awkward. It seems good with One Ring. I could imagine a world where, like, we craft it to get the One Ring. That makes sense to me. Well, we're going to bring in all the Graveyard Hate and the Chalice of the Void and more upheavals. We're going to go down Ether Spellbomb, Manifold Key. Ooh. Obstructionist works, right? We can stifle the Cascade trigger for the living end. Maybe we just got a couple Signets. Or maybe Shark Typhoon. I don't feel like Shark Typhoon's actually going to be good this match. All right, let's go down Shark Typhoon, 1 Signet, and... Although Shark Typhoon is a blue card for force, that's kind of relevant. Is Bridge good in this matchup? Bridge can also be good. They do have answers for it. The question is just how much can we bring in? How much do we have room for? We actually have, if anything, like too many good sideboard cards because the Graveyard Hate's good. The Forces are pretty good. The Chalices are great. But we still got to execute our game plan. Maybe it's like trim an Omen Hawker. Maybe like go down an Omen Hawker. Can we not bring in the upheavals? I really want to upheaval some. If we play this deck and we don't upheaval anyone, it's kind of a failure. That's kind of the whole shtick of this deck. Let's try something like this. All right. We got a lot of hate. Upheaval's too slow. I know, it probably is, but I want to get someone with it. My dreams. What do you think is going to be the most powerful deck going into Timeless? Well, Sand actually has none of our synergistic pieces, but we have all of our hate cards, so we will keep Graveyard Hate, Chalice of the Void. Opponent, you're skipping your turn. All right, Breeding Pool. I mean, we cannot really ask for more than this. Maybe a blue card in hand for Force of Will. What's going to be the best card deck in Timeless? That's actually tricky. So, wow, another one. So play the land, play the Chalice on 0. Actually, we don't even need to play it yet, do we? Let's play Relic. We have all the hate cards, literally all of them. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith. Cycles even more Street Wraiths. Uh-huh. Wow, triple Street Wraith. Okay, that's a lot of Street Wraiths. That's a lot of Street Wraithing. Wow, 4. They had all 4 of them. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Opponent cycles 4 Street Wraiths. 4 Street Rays into the Force Negation. That is wild. Okay, well, Chalice on 0. Protection for now, past the turn. I think there's probably a really good, like, Delvery Snapcaster style control deck. There's a Grief, pitching a living end. There's probably a really good Delver Snapcaster style control deck. There's probably a really good, like, Bant Oko style deck. There's probably some good combo decks, like Storm is a very strong option. So there could be, like, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. We've never, so the problem is, we've had the no ban list events, but the no ban list events were always a really weird mix of, like, some people trying to do busted things, and some people just taking advantage of the fact that they had all the cards, and doing just, like, janky fun, but not powerful things. So it was hard to get a sense of, like, exactly what the meta looked like overall. But I wouldn't be surprised if some sort of, like, especially with fetches entering the format, some sort of Oko pile. Like, you can build pretty close to some, like, tier modern decks at this point. Like, Oko, imagine, like, better than modern, maybe. Like, imagine, look at this modern deck. Something like 4 or 5 color Omnath, like, you have, so you're missing the Voke Elementals, but you get the Omnath, you get Unbalanced Teferi, you get the Bolts, you get Time Warp, you get One Ring, you get Beanstalk, you get Leyline Binding. I think, like, there's probably an absurd value pile deck in that form. You even have stuff like Minskin Boo that isn't even legal in Modern. So I bet there's something in that mid-range, like play all the value, draw all the cards, just the most busted, powerful things. There's got to be a deck like that. So I think something like that. There's probably a really good blue-white control deck. It's going to be really fun to find out, actually. All right, opponent plays a land and passes. So they do need to deal with our Chalice before they can Living End. Unfortunately, we can't play another Chalice yet. I think we just play Ensnaring Bridge. Wow. All right, opponent. Force a minute over there. Force a minute. Force number 2. Opponent. Well, they need an answer to Chalice, and they need a Cascade spell. Opponent. Passing. We untap. We draw. What kind of southern food did I really like? I just had some, like, chicken was good. Let's play Omen Hogger. Yeah, really good, like, I guess, what was it, fried chicken? That was very tasty. I mean, what's your pick for the top timeless deck heading into the new format? They got to be out of forces, right? They got to. I would like to One Ring and draw cards. I feel like we might be getting our win. This might finally be the win. One Ring. No. 3 of them? Mystical Dispute. Okay. Well, opponent definitely packed a lot of counters, that's for sure. Get it, Hetchia. I don't think that the restricted card... So, I think Demonic Tutor will see a lot of play. Just any deck that has black, why wouldn't you just throw Demonic Tutor in? So I think that'll see a lot of play. I'm not sure you can really build a channel deck with channel being restricted, though. Like, I don't think that's actually possible. I think it just cuts down the consistency way too much. Well, Omen Hawker aggro. That is our new plan. Pass the turn. Yeah, I do kind of like the idea of just adding way more Wicker Waves, adding way more finishers to the deck. Maybe we just need more. Maybe this deck just needs more gas. I'm kind of leaning towards just like play more gas. Yes, we will be watching the first look at Karlov Manor once it goes live, which is actually not too long. 15 minutes. 15 minutes until spoilers about it. Does some griefing, sure. I have no idea. Normally, when it comes to Magic sets, I have a pretty good idea, like a pretty good sense of what to expect. This one, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to get in on the only murders in the building hype. Like, are murder mysteries a popular thing? The first timeless anthology should be Zendikar Fetches, Mirrodin Artifact Lands, Tron Lands, Urza Saga Wastelands, Dual Lands. What would your ideal timeless anthology bring? I mean, I think the format's gonna need better interaction. I think we're gonna have to have some sort of like force of negation, force of will style effect. I think it's gonna be necessary. The format is so powerful. I don't know if force of will or force of negation's gonna be better. The problem with force of will, it can also be used to defend combos, but that's where I'm kind of looking. I feel like because this is a relatively modern set, right? This is Arena is mostly newer cards. They're cards from the era of threat power creep, but interaction being nerfed essentially. Wow, this is gonna be the best nimble obstructionist of all time. This might be our opponent scooping into a nimble obstructionist actually. We're gonna play this Chalice, they're gonna Cascade, we're gonna obstructionist, and it is going to be absolutely glorious. So we will Chalice on 0. I mean, oh, wow. They don't even, why'd they bounce it? Why do you bounce it if you can't actually win? Okay. Well, maybe it's not going to be hilarious. Maybe it's going to be the least hilarious Nimble Obstructionist where we just flash it in and attack for 3, and that's the game. Waker of Waves. Omen Hawk's getting there. It's getting there. It's doing it. It tries hard. You know what? I'm not even going to flash it in. Omen Hawk beat down. Omen Hawk has waited many, many years for its day in the sun. Get in there, Omen Hawker. Pound it to 2. Urza Saga. Double Obstructionist at the ready. About it. Come on, Cascade. I really want them to draw the Cascade spell so we can Obstructionist, because it is going to feel so good. I know we could probably win by casting the Obstructionist. I get it. I know. But this is going to be so much better. Manamo, go to combat. Hit ya. Our opponent's saying, man, if I can just draw that Cascade spell. I need the answer to the Chalice and the Cascade spell. Down to 1. Omen Hawker's going to go all the way. It's going all the way. Hey, what's up, Alberto? How are you? Opponent. Okay, yes. Good. Bounces it. Opponent's like, I'm at 1. I'm going to do it at 1 life. I have bad news, opponent. Cycle? An opponent scoops it up. Got him. We got him. Oh, that made the 3 losses before it worth it. Now we got to go speed mode because the spoiler stream starting in 11 minutes. So we got to have the fastest mind slavering of all that. Okay, the deck can win. We found it. I strongly believe that we are going to see more no mana suspend cards in this set. Wait, in what set? In the next Modern Horizons? Speed mode. Speed mode. We can do it. I mean, so at this point, it doesn't really, like, now that we already have strong no mana value suspend cards that exist, I don't think it matters. Like, it is what it is. Oh, in the next really? What makes you think they're going to put him in the next standard set? That's interesting. Next, like Modern Horizons or something. Sure, I could see that. In some sense, I don't think that it matters. Like, okay, so if you already have, all right, speed mode, Enigma Jewel, speed mode. See how fast I played that Enigma Jewel. So if you already have Crashing Footfalls, Living End, Restore Malins, etc., Inevitable Betrayal, like, do more actually change anything in Modern? I don't think they really do. Like, I don't think the equation I don't think the equation really changes meaningfully. Well, we untap. We play an island. We play an Omen Hawker. We pass the turret. Oh, play a fetch opponent. Play a fetch. Play a fetch. That's the other dream we haven't got to live, is just get the person that plays the fetch. Opponent. Orcish Bowmasters. Well, that's awkward. So if we cycle this to stop the Bowmaster trigger, we trigger Bowmaster. Oh, why didn't you just play a fetch land, opponent? Bowmaster is such a punishing card. Why do you think they haven't banned? Why do you think they haven't banned any Lord of the Rings cards? Do you think they can ban Lord of the Rings cards? Like, are they allowed to? I mean, I see there's three possibilities, right? One is they don't think the Lord of the Rings cards are actually a problem. That's possible. Two is something in the contract prevents them from actually banning Lord of the Rings cards. That seems like kind of unlikely, but not impossible. The other possibility is they want to sell Holiday Edition, and that's why they have put off banning Lord of the Rings cards. About it. Well, I mean, we have to try to kill something. This is so brutal. Yeah, Nimble Obstructionist. Flash it. The problem is, like, Stifling just triggers the Bowmaster because it's cycling. So if we do that, it actually just triggers the Bowmaster, grows the army. So because of Bowmaster, it's not especially good to try to cycle and stifle something. It has to be a very high value stifle target for it to be worth it, because otherwise we're just growing our opponent's board and taking more damage. My reason for thinking no mana suspend cards will be in standard set is because they just remade Cascade and want some Cascade combos for Timeless. Ooh. Well, that would be wild. I don't know. I hope that Wizards does not view cascading into 0 mana value spells as a healthy thing that they should be promoting and supporting. Maybe they do. But yeah, I hope that they don't. It's not I don't know. I mean, they just banned. Well, we got a 2/2 and an Urza. Well, apparently Rakdos is still pretty good. Even no scam, like, you still got Bowmasters, you still get, like, good interaction, you still got Ragavan, you still got Fable. Like, maybe Rakdos is just a mid-range deck now, but still very successful. Yeah, I would be shocked, Stone Rain. I think it's very, very unlikely. I think that's something that, like, in Modern it doesn't matter because it's already happening. So until they actually decide to get rid of that play pattern, you can print all of them you want and it's not going to change anything. Like, dying to Living End's not meaningfully different than dying to Restore Balance, which is not meaningfully different than dying to Crashing Footfalls. They're all the same. They're all doing the same thing. It's all 3 mana Cascade. I do my big thing and you lose. So it doesn't really matter. That's why I've kind of been in the unbanned Hypergenesis, like, not being that bad of an idea plan. Like, if you want to look at stuff that could be unbanned, I actually think Hypergenesis would be on that list, just because what does it matter? Like, is Hypergenesis going to be meaningfully different than Living End or whatever? On the other hand, in a format that does not have that play pattern already, I think you really, really, really do not want to add that play pattern. So I would be shocked if they were like, oh, we think in Standard we want people to be able to, like, cascade into 0 mana spells. I would be surprised. I definitely could be wrong, but I'd be very surprised. We have a ton of gift subs from Urborg Lurgoyf. Heading him out to Corporate Russia, Darken, Recycled Out, Chucky Bananas, and Source Play Games. Welcome y'all to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank ya. About it. All right, down to 12 from the Thoughtseize. I mean, we got a couple blockers. I don't know if it's enough. Like, our opponent's still kind of going off. Opponent, big attack, makes a treasure. What is that last card? I mean, we're like semi-stabilized-ish. Like, if they don't have a removal spell, we can kill a bunch of stuff. Now, they do have the removal spell. Well, we get to kill much less stuff. Block and block. Drop to 3. All right, Urza. You get another chance of redemption. Urza redemption. Okay, there's Urza Saga. Well, okay. So far, Urza has betrayed us every spin through this entire league. I think there was one. I think there was one ring, but the odds on Urza have been so bad. Can Urza get his redemption on this spin that really needs an upheaval or a 1 ring? It needs one of those. It needs a big one. Signet. Always a Signet. Urza always spins into the Signet, and that makes us dead. Whew, okay, so speed mode, we gotta win in 3 minutes. Taco redemption, not good enough. Not good enough. Okay. Wow, we're running out of time. Urza, I know, Urza's fickle. A very fickle planeswalker. So, yeah, Bowmaster's brutal. I'm excited to see what the meta looks like in Modern with the changes. I am very excited to see. I'm not as convinced as Watsy is that just getting rid of Fury changes everything to the extent that we would like it to, but I'm hoping that it does. Merfolk, I don't think Merfolk, I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical of the Merfolk. They have gotten some good new pieces. Tishana Sideminder is huge. Losing Fury does help. It definitely improves them. They're the kind of deck that wins. Like, they just got a burst of new cards, powerful new cards in Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and one of their biggest nemesi are gone. So maybe if you add that together, maybe it is time for Merfolk to actually be top tier. It is almost spoiler stream time. Let's see if we can win real quick. All right, boom. Enigma Jewel go. They're starting soon. As soon as they actually start talking about, as soon as they go live and start talking about new cards, once their little intro thing's done, we'll jump over whether we're in the game or not. In theory, see? Scam! It's still happening! Nothing changes! Nothing changes! We're still getting scammed! We're still getting scammed. Mailcar Rebirth, come back. Turn 1. Double Thoughtseize. Wow, watch them ban Fury and have Scam still be the most played deck in the format. That would be interesting. Could that actually happen? My assumption was Scam will still be a powerful deck, but it probably wouldn't be Rakdos. But maybe it's still Rakdos. Like, if you look at a Rakdos Scam list, it literally is just a who's who list of the busted cards printed in the last 2 years. Like, that's it. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible that it still does exist. Oh no. Oh, that would be the worst case. Oh. All right. Stream starting.
Hello and welcome to Weekly MTG.
Here we go. All right, we're We're gonna assume we die here.
At Karlov Manor.
Murders
I'm your
at
host,
Karlov
Blake
Manor.
Rasmussen, and I'll be your guide to
Our
the
buddy
case
Blake.
files of a string of mysterious killings
How
happening
is-
around Ravnica.
How is the
Now, before
audio
we
levels?
get to that, let's talk a little bit about why we're here. This is what we call a first look. This is the
A
opportunity
first look.
for local game stores to get a look at the set and figure out how deep they want to go down this rabbit hole. Now, if you see anything that intrigues you,
do you
certainly
buy
let your
that?
local game store know so that they can figure out how deep they want to go into this mystery. Now, certainly, we need you to go as deep as possible because you, in Murders at Karlov Manor, play the role of a detective on Ravnica.
You're a
solving
detective on
string of
Ravnica.
murders
Do you think that,
of
like,
some pretty important
how much
people. Now, you're not going to be working alone. You're going to have the
So do you
help
think that's
of
actually
the entire
relevant?
Ravnican
Like,
detective
do
agency,
local game stores
including its
watch this
lead
stream of
detective,
like a handful of
Alquist
cards being
Proft,
spoiled and like decide how
two
much
of
to
his
play?
associates,
Wow,
not
look at
depicted
the
here.
skeleton face.
We're going to meet the detectives shortly. But first, like
This is
any
actual
good
clue.
investigation,
Tally
we need
all.
to
Welcome to
start
Fishbowl.
by
Thanks for your review.
interviewing our rogues gallery, our usual suspects, the individuals who have something to hide and everything to share to help
Is
your
Blake trying to talk in
investigation.
like a
Now,
dramatic,
the murder
like,
may or may
murder
not
mystery
be among
voice?
these individuals,
think
but
he is.
certainly you'll want to delve into their
I think
secrets
he's
and pull out
LARPing,
any clues they may have to offer.
a murder mystery
Now, as with
narrator?
any mystery this vexing, you'll probably want to start with some more obvious places.
Oh, it's
so
Massacre Girl.
I recommend starting with Massacre Girl.
Okay.
She knows her way around murder and has a
Massacre
trail
Girl
of
that is a
bodies
sweet
behind
card.
her as long as 10th Street itself. And you'll want to make sure that she's
long as
not
10th
involved.
Street.
Now, these murders are a bit too mysterious.
I mean, it's gotta be
out
Massacre
there
Girl,
for
right?
Massacre
Solved
Girl.
it.
They're
Solved it.
not quite
Next
showy
set.
enough.
It
So
was Massacre Girl.
you'll certainly want to interview the Demir
Who
as
else could it
well.
be?
So we'll talk to Atrada.
Ooh, Atrada.
Now,
Oh,
whether
it
or
could be
not she's
Atrada.
involved,
Atrada's
the
pretty
trade
stealthy.
in secrets.
Atrada
so
could
they'll
sneak in
certainly
there and
know
murder
a thing
someone.
or two about what is happening in Ravnica. Now, you'll also want to keep your
That's-
ear
I
to
don't
the
know.
streets, and no one knows the
Atrada's
streets
stuff.
better
Krenko, it's
than
not
Krenko.
Krenko.
Ravnica's
not-
own mob boss.
Krenko's
You'll
not
want to
a-
pick his brain about the comings and goings of 10th Street.
I don't
and
think
all
Krenko's
of
smart.
its
Goblins aren't
residents.
smart enough to play.
But don't stop
like a
there.
full-on-
You'll want to head under the
full-on
streets as
murder.
well to talk to the Golgari and
Izoni.
Izoni.
Okay.
They certainly
We know
know
Izoni
a
likes
thing or two about
graveyards.
death and have a penchant for dead bodies. Maybe they're involved.
Fate.
Maybe they can just shed some light on
Look at all those
exactly
bugs.
what's
That is kinda
happening with all of these
cool art, I
corpses
guess.
turning up. Now, we'll also want to circle back to the Rakdos cult because you know what? They like death.
Massacre Girl
And
could
our
be
own
a
femme
redhead.
fatale,
Ooh, Judith.
Judith certainly
Judith-
has some
Judith likes
secrets
murder.
about murder that she can shed some light
Okay,
on.
maybe this
But
is
we
gonna
don't
be
want to
tougher than
stick
I
to just
thought.
the obvious avenues. We'll want to meet some new faces in some
Where's Flibble
less
Flip?
obvious places. So
Was it
you'll want
Flibble
to
Flip?
investigate and ransack the lab of one Kylox from the oh my gosh, the Is It Guild. Lost the trailer. I love Is It. But you'll want to talk to Kylox and
He
check out
doesn't
his
look
lab.
like a
I think
murderer.
he might
I don't
be
think
a little
it's
deeply
him. It's not
involved in
him. Look at-
something that he shouldn't be.
He's-
Now, you'll want to
He's
leave no
he's
stone
definitely not a
unturned,
murder
and you'll
lizard.
want to
No.
talk to Tolsmir as well. One of Ravnica's heroes can
Oh,
certainly
Tolsmir.
sniff out some clues along the way. Now, we've
Blake
been
is doing
building
the
up to
murder
this
mystery
one, but
narrator voice.
there's no getting around it. You're going to have to talk to Rakdos. He's been around since the signing of the Guild Pact, and even before then, as one of Ravnica's
How do y'all feel
oldest
about Ravnica
residents.
again?
Again, this murder might
Like,
be a bit
is there
too
ever a time
subtle
when
for
Ravnica
Rakdos,
loses its
but
luster and
he
it's just
knows
not cool
everything about
anymore?
everything,
So we had
and
like
he's been
OG
around a long
Ravnica,
time, so
Return to
you wanna interview
Ravnica,
him.
Guilds of
Also,
Ravnica.
know that
Now we're at Murder Mysteries
one
of
in
Ravnica.
is above the
is
law.
there
not
ever
even
like too much of a
Aurelia,
good
so
thing?
you'll wanna
Ravnica's
spend
like
some
such an
time
iconic place, but
talking
this is the
with this
fourth time we
arbiter
went
of
there
justice and
in
making
15
sure that
years,
she
maybe?
hasn't gone too far this time.
Dragon's Maze.
Now,
Yeah,
assisting
Dragon's
you
Maze was
on
kind
this
of a flop.
case will be Planeswalker Kaya, who has experience with this sort of investigation and with some spirits as well. The junior
Oh,
detective.
if you got spirits on
this
your side,
case
shouldn't
will
the
be
spirits be able
Kellen,
to just tell you who
a
did it?
little inquisitive prodigy. He's been
Kellen.
draped about the multiverse.
Kellen.
You've met
Kellen
him
just
a few
wanders
times now.
from
He's
plane-
back in
plane to
Murders
plane.
at Karlov Manor to
Plane-
help with
I'm
your
going to go investigate a murder
But
in
leading
Ravnica
the
and the Karlov.
investigation is Ravnica's
Alex
premier
Mateo,
detective.
welcome to the Visual. Thank you
Alquist
for your
Prof,
subscription.
a
Big super cheer to
master
you.
sleuth, a
Well, a
master
master
of
sleuth.
deduction. And we're going to meet
What's
his
up with
card
the stuff in
right
his beard?
here,
Who
right
does
now.
that to their
We're going to
beard?
get into it. This is
Oh.
Alquist Prof, Master Sleuth.
Alquist Prof.
He's a 3/3 legendary creature, human
3/3
detective.
for
That's right. We are
3.
introducing
Okay.
the detective creature
Detective
type
creature
in
type.
Murders at Karlov Manor. For
Okay.
1, a white and a blue,
When
you get a
ATBs
3/3
make a
vigilance,
clue,
and when Alquist
Pay
Prof
4 tap at sack,
enters the
a
battlefield,
clue,
of
you draw
course,
X cards and
you
gain.
investigate.
Oh. So it's like a
And
Sphinx's
then
revelation
for X, a
on the
white,
battle
blue,
on the
tap,
battlefield.
sacrifice a clue. You draw
I mean,
X
that's a
cards
good
and
card.
gain X life.
That's a good card.
Because it's not Sphinxes who can
Ooh,
have. It's not
is it
only
Dak
Sphinxes
Faden?
on Ravnica who can have revelations.
I mean,
Now,
3 mana
Alquist is
3/3
not the
ETB make
only
a clue is
detective
fine.
on Ravnica. There is,
And
of
then
course,
if it lives, you can rev.
as well as a slew of detectives investigating the
Wojak
case. Here we have Wojak
Investigator. 3 mana 2/4 flying vigilance.
angel
Angel detective. Make your
detective
upkeep
for
investigate
2
once
and a
for
white,
each
or
opponent
2/4
who has more
flying
cards in hand than
vigilance,
you.
who at the beginning of your upkeep
Okay.
helps you investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand
That's not that
than
good.
you. But we're going to have detectives
Because
all
that's
up
not
and
even
down
going to
the very
investigate every
spectrum,
turn, right?
including this little junior detective who's going to look a little familiar. We have a novice inspector. For a single white mana, you get a 1/2.
Functional
human detective,
Thraves.
and when
Thraves
novice
is
inspector
back.
enters the
Thraves is
battlefield,
back, a functional
investigate. It
reprint.
seems simple, but it's going to feel very familiar
Okay.
to a powerful card that we've seen in the past.
Now you can play 8 Thraves.
Now, speaking of powerful cards that we've
Thraves.
seen in the past, a note that this is not a guild
That
set.
I mean,
like
Thraves is
most
really
sets
good. Those one
set
drops
on,
that
or
draw a
unlike
card.
most sets set on
Always punch
Ravnica,
up.
Murders at Karlov Manor is not focused on the guild. It really is focused on driving this
So
murder
takeaway number
mystery,
1:
having
clues
you
are back.
solve
This is
the
gonna. I mean,
case.
people
However,
predicted that.
we are
Everyone
going to
said,
see
"Oh,
some
you know,
familiar
whatever,
sights
murder
and
mystery,
familiar
investigate."
magic
But so clues
on
are
Ravnica,
back.
including a spell that has not seen the light of day
Whoa!
from the Boros
They
Legion
finally,
since we
they
originally
finally
visited
did
Ravnica.
it.
That's
They
right.
have printed
Lightning
so many
Helix is
not
coming
lightning
back
helixes
to standard.
since original Ravnica.
Two
They
mana,
printed
a red and a
so
white for an
many
instant
not
that deals 3
literal
damage
lightning
to any target
helixes.
and you gain
One of
3
the most
life.
iconic
is a
burn
powerful
spells
spell
in the
that you
game's
will want
history.
to add to your
It's finally
arsenal
back.
for
They printed so many like, oh, it's a
standard.
3 mana
Now,
one, it's a 4
don't
mana
be
one. Oh, if you fuse it,
shocked
it's one. Like
if you see
they finally
more
just did it.
reprints of this nature
Okay.
coming in Murders at Karlov Manor. We'll certainly reveal more
Also
of
a
them
shock.
as we head towards the debut, which is
Shock's
coming
not
on
as exciting, but-
January 16th. Now, we've started to show you some preview cards. This
Oh.
is the portion of the show. We're going to run through a bunch of preview cards. We're going to run through a bunch of treatments and a bunch of ways that Murders at Karlov Manor immerses you in the mystery happening in Ravnica right now.
Immerse us in the mystery.
One of the ways that we do that is this set has more story spotlight cards than most sets. So we're going to take a
Helix
look at a
is
few
huge.
of them,
Helix
as
is a
well as the
really
special
good
story
card.
spotlight treatment going on. So first up, we have Fanatical Strength. 1 and a green for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. You're going to see story spotlight cards on some simple commons like this, some complex rares, and
Sure. I mean, it's a
more.
common,
And we'll
I guess.
piece this all together
How much
as
can
we
you
go
complain?
along.
It's a
Next
common.
up,
That's gonna fill out your limited
Deuce,
deck or whatever.
maybe my favorite.
Draw a card,
common from this set.
investigate.
Simple card. 1 and a blue. Draw a card. Investigate.
So it's basically
That's
think
Alquist
twice,
Prof right
kind of
there.
think twice, slightly
Picking up the
upgraded think
pieces of the
twice.
puzzle along the
I guess
way.
if you have clue synergies,
Then
it's
we
better.
have Demand Answers. Certainly a very important...
Next slide, Blake.
There
Next
we are.
slide.
Demand Answers, a very important moment for Aurelia.
Additional
of
cost to
Rakdos.
cast a spell, sack
We'll
an
learn
artifact,
more
or
about what's
discard.
happening in
Okay,
this
so
story
upgraded,
spotlight as we go
upgraded,
through the story of Murders at Karlov Manor.
Reckless
Now,
Impulse
let's
effect,
show off
'cause you
the
can sack an
story
artifact.
spotlight treatment. Each of these lets you take a magnifying glass to this moment. These are all going to be non-creature cards
Aha!
that are taking a closer look at the story moment.
Okay, I mean,
Next
I don't know.
up,
What do you think of
we're
the
gonna meet
treatment?
some
It's kind of
familiar
like
characters. So we
okay.
talked about a few of these up top, but guild leaders get their
We need
own
better cards,
spotlight
Blake.
in this set. So let's take a look at
Oh,
Aurelia.
there we go.
The Law
Aurelia, the Law Above.
3,
5
a red
mana
and a
4/4
white for a
legendary angel
4/4
flying.
legendary
Vigilance haste.
creature angel.
When a player
Flying,
attacks with 3 or more
vigilance,
creatures,
haste,
you draw a card.
all good words.
When a
When a
player
player
attacks
attacks
with 5 or more
with 3
creatures,
or more
Lightning
creatures,
Helix.
you draw a card. That's whenever a player attacks with 3
I mean,
more
that's
creatures.
a card, right?
And whenever a player attacks with
that's a
5
card.
or more creatures, Aurelia the Law
Four,
deals 3
4, 5
damage
vigilance
to each
haste
of your
for
opponents, and you
5.
gain 3 life. A little bit of
That
that
is
light
probably
Helix
drawing you card
magic
and maybe
right there.
lightning helixing.
We're also going to see Rakdos.
That's like
the
really nice
patron
top
of
end. Ooh,
Chaos,
Rakdos,
a legendary
mythic.
creature demon.
6 minutes, 6
For
with 5
4, a
everything
black
else.
and a red, it's a 6/6
Target opponent may sack 2
flying
non-land
trample.
permanents if they
At the
don't.
beginning
You
of your
draw
end
2
step, target
cards.
opponent may sacrifice 2 non-land, not 2 non-token permanents. If they don't, you draw 2
I mean,
cards.
that's a good card. I was hoping for
Now,
something a
we
little
are
more like
also going to get some
spicy,
really
but,
cool
like,
basic lands in this
a
set.
big-
Of course,
a
these
big
are the
demon that draws you cards
impossible
is-
lands
I
that
mean,
show a view
6
of
minutes,
the
6
ravaged
that's drawing you
city
2
that
cards
we
and making your
have
opponent
not
sack
seen
is
before. So
that's a
here we
lot
see
of
the plains.
There's a lot of value. It's not
let's
doing
take a
anything
look
super
at
unique
all
like the
5
Rakdos
of
where,
them
oh, if you deal
across
damage, I
there.
ramp you a ton.
Gorgeous
Nothing like
and
that, but just like a
impossible
powerful big flying demon.
Now, the reason we're showing these off to you is because we are going to talk a little bit about the play booster. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the
this
play
is the
booster,
first
I
play
recommend
booster set.
checking out
Those are
our
cool
videos
basics.
and
I like the
articles
forest,
on
I
play
think, is
boosters
my
in the
favorite.
past. And we're going to be talking about it as we run up.
Yeah, the swamp
to
is a
the
little
set
purple.
Murders at Karlov Manor, of course. But
Polar
to give
lands, who
you
would've
a
guessed?
refresher, we're going to show you 2 sample play boosters containing Murders at Karlov Manor
Oh.
cards. Hence all the
Oh.
previews today. We're going to show you kind of sort of the wavelength. We're going to start with an average booster. What sort of an average booster would look like. This is an average play booster. You're going to have slots 1 through 6 are going to
When
be
you sack a crew,
commons.
return it from your graveyard to
Slot
your
number 7
hand.
could be the list or a common.
Okay,
In this
Curious
case, in our
Cadaver is
average
like-
booster, it's most likely to be a
Oh,
common.
to your hand.
Then you're going to have those
Probably not good enough for
3
constructed.
uncommons there.
But definitely huge
Slot
clue
11 is
support.
going to be a rare or a mythic rare. In this case, our esteemed
Oh, hi,
detective
chat.
Alquist
Hang
Croft
on.
makes an appearance. Slot number 12 is going to be a basic land. Now, that can be a regular basic land like you see here, or it can be an impossible
There you
basic
go.
land. Slot number 13 is going to be a non-foil wild card. So this is often where you're going
Play
to
boosters,
see
I think, are gonna
one
be
of
sweet.
our booster fun treatments, including these
It'll be
Magnifying
interesting to see
Story
what it does
Spotlight
for
cards.
for
Slot
limited,
number
but
14
I
will
think
be
for
a
opening
foil
packs, it'll
wild
be
card. It
good.
could be any number of things. Here we have a Curious Cadaver. Don't worry about pausing and enhancing any of these cards. We are going to look at each of the cards, even the ones in the background on here. We're going to look at these individually. So we'll talk about Curious Cadaver in a moment as well. Slot 15 will be an add
They're
card, a
definitely
token
going
card,
hard
a
on
help card,
clues.
or an
No-
art card.
no
Here
doubt
we
about it.
see
They're
our
definitely going hard on
detective token.
clues.
Yeah, we're going to have token creatures that create detectives. All right, now let's look at sort of the best case scenario play booster. So again, we're going to have those slots 1 through
What?
6 will be common. Slot number
Look at-
7
look at
in the
that
best case
treatment.
scenario will contain
What is
a
that,
list card. In
Rakdos?
this case, one of the list cards coming in Murders at Karlov Manor is going to be
Crashing Footfalls on the list. Okay.
Now, a
with
reminder
new
that
art.
the list cards now are, these are
I'm glad-
special guests. And special guests have their own set symbol, their own numbering, continuing on from previous sets. So
Yeah,
Crashing
special guests are a
Footfalls
good
has
addition.
New art here, new numbering, all
Man,
that jazz.
so many clue
Slot
cards.
8 through 10 is going to be still uncommons here. Slot 11, a rare
Gleaming
or
Gear
mythic
Drake
rare.
seems good
Get
for,
Quarterback Investigator again. Slot number 12, basic
Surge
land.
Ranger decks.
Your best case scenario is one of those fancy impossible lands. Slot number 13, we're going to talk about that treatment in a moment.
Yeah, treatment.
But that
I
is
think I
the
like this
non-foil
treatment.
wild card. That is a
That is a
dossier
weird
treatment.
look. Is that like a
Slot number
wanted
14,
poster?
the foil wild card.
That's
Here we
actually one of the
have,
coolest
the
treatments
Guild
they've
Leaders
done.
City,
If it is what I think it
cards
is, that's a
treatment. We'll
really
talk
cool
more about
treatment.
those in a second as well. Slot 15, again, your best case scenario is one of those art cards. Here we have Deduce with the gold signature. So a reminder that play boosters take the place of both draft and set boosters combined into one
what do you think of the
booster.
Rakdos
So
treatment?
Murders at Karlov Manor will not have draft boosters.
I have
They
to
will
turn
not
chat
set
back
boosters.
on
It
'cause
will
I need to
just
see-
have
I need to see
the
what you're
play booster
saying.
to make things cleaner and simpler, and still pretty cool. All right, so now
All the
let's
lists-
take a look at some of
most
those
of the
commons
list
and
cards are
uncommons
coming
that
to
we
Arena.
saw in the pack or saw parts.
They said
of
they
the
might
pack.
replace
We've
some,
got
but
Burden
most of
Proof
them-
there on the left, 1 and a blue for an enchantment or a flash
Burden
enchant
Proof.
creature.
+2/+2.
Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's a detective. You
Detective.
control. Otherwise, it has base power and toughness 1/1
Detective
and can't
creature
block
type.
detectives. There are a lot of cool top-down designs in this set that make you feel
I always
like you
wonder,
are a
like,
Ravnican detective because you are.
When it comes to these new creature types, so when you get detective, Is it worth it? Like, so I don't care if a detectives are magic. That doesn't bother me. Like, whatever. Like, detective, not detective. But I always wonder, like, are you going to be able to support it enough? Or is it just like a one set thing? Do you, like, make cards that care about detective and it essentially only shows up in this one-off set, and then, like, you never get the support to do more with it? Maybe we'll get more in the future. Maybe is it a Universes Beyond thing? Universes Beyond Sherlock Holmes? Universes Beyond, what else has detectives? The Wire? Universes Beyond The Wire. I would be beyond
3, a red, and
I
a
would be
white.
down
It's
with
a 4
that.
or 5.
Let's get a Wire. A Wire Universes
Three
Beyond.
more creatures investigate, and I think we have
Scooby.
to
Oh my God, Scooby Doo.
Well, if it isn't meaningful,
You know,
Mr.
Scooby Doo Secret
Florida.
Lair drop.
Always been so
Actually,
eager.
I could see that. That might be
Dumpling
real.
Skull and Axe Blood Alley. There's meddling youths always getting involved.
Meddling
we have a few
youths,
more cards
little-
to
yeah,
show
a little
off
too
from
expensive,
the
but,
packs. We have
good
Benthic
reference.
Criminologists, so those are some merfolk wizards.
When
They're
18,
4 or
5
whatever
mana,
they are,
if it's
battlefield
5 or
attack
6 mana, it's
effect,
just
artifact,
so much for
clue.
standard.
If you do, draw a card.
Bounce
Then
something.
we've got Hotshot
Everything just makes a clue.
Investigators. 5
Everything
in a
they
blue
show
for some
says
Vulcan
investigate.
detectives.
Every
They're
single
4
thing.
4s. When they enter
Oh,
the
Magnifying
battlefield, return
Glass.
up to 1
Magnifying
other
Glass
feature.
was my first ever official preview card when it first came out. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this is my first ever official preview card. It is so
And
bad.
Investigate.
I have definitely
Topiary
played
Panther
it,
is
paid
a
for to
plant
investigate
cat.
it, paid
Great
to crack the
type line.
clue. I've done
For
it.
4 green and a green, it's a 6/5
Basic land cycling
trample.
is not the
Basic
worst.
land
This
cycling.
is pretty good fixing.
Finally,
This
we
can
have
see
a
standard
reprint
play.
over there on the right side. Magnifying
Like, this can see
Glass.
standard play in some
That
sort
is
of
an
5 color
artifact
deck.
that taps for a colorless or 4.
Oh, yeah. Chat. All right. Do I
and
just gotta leave the
investigate.
chat down? Apparently, I just gotta leave the chat down.
Great little man.
It's only a
All
magnifying
right,
glass.
now we're going to look at the family packaging shot. That's one of the things we do in this first look is get all the packaging out there. So this is what the packaging is going to look like. Now, if you pull out your magnifying
so many
glass
commander
and look
decks.
closely, you may
Four-
be able to
four more
discern
commander
some
decks.
clues about what the commander decks are all about. So we have that Naya deck there called Deadly Disguise, where you disguise creatures. You're going to learn a little bit more about that, but suffice to say, some creatures might be face down.
The concept
Then
of the set's kind of cool.
The Revenant Black-Blue deck
It's different,
right there.
right?
You're going to be doing some surveilling. Deep Sea Clues, or Deep Clue Sea. Far more clever than Deep Sea Clues. You're going to be doing some investigating.
So many
and
commander
using your
decks.
Clues in some
I feel
wild
like
ways.
there's just too
Blame
many.
Game is one
I don't know
of
if we
my
need.
favorite themes.
I don't know if
You
we
are going
need
to be
4 commander
goading your
decks
foes
with every
and
set.
pointing out who you think has done it. Now, let's take
Morph
a look
coming
at some of
back
the
is
booster
cool.
fun. So in
All right,
the
show
play
us
boosters,
some fun,
we
Blake.
saw a sort of
We need
preview
some
of the
fun.
booster fun. We already talked about the story spotlight cards, but we're going to run through a few more examples of all of these cards, talk a little bit more about them. So first up, we have the Buy a Box Wojak Investigator, who we've met already.
I don't know. Is this
Extended
card
treatment
good? At the
with
beginning of your
new art
upkeep,
by
investigate
Greg
once for each
Staples.
opponent.
This
So,
is
I
sure
feel like
to
this is just a
be
commander card, right?
Powerful
It's gotta
card,
just be
whether
a commander
you're looking
card.
for angel synergies,
I don't
or
think, like-
detective synergies, or clue synergies, or just looking to
So
draw
in
a bunch of
standard, if
cards
your opponent has
in
less cards than
white.
you, it's just a 2/4, right?
Wojak Investigator
With
is
flying and
also
vigilance,
going to
but-
get
No,
what we're calling
maybe-
the
maybe
dossier
that's
treatment.
fine.
So when we talked about going through
Ooh.
our files on this case, this is
That's
what
it.
we're talking
I
about.
like
So
that treatment.
Each of
I
these
think that treatment's
creature
super
cards is
cool.
mocked up
This is what
to
I
look
want. I
like
want my
a
special cards
dossier
not to just be like,
on
oh, we
that
photoshopped out the
individual.
border.
So
Have them look
Wojak
different. Have them
Investigator,
look really
Alpha's
different. And these
Prospero,
look really
Rakdos,
different. Even the
and
text is
Rakdos,
different. It looks like it's
Patron
typed out
of
on a
Chaos
typewriter.
are
I
some
think
of
that's.
the individuals
I think
that
this
we are
style is really
looking
sweet.
closer
I think this is
into.
one of the sweet. This
Now,
is
it's not just
exactly
rares
what
that
I
get
want.
this
Have it
treatment. We
pop.
also
Have it
have
look
some
different. I want to know I open
uncommon
something
creatures who
cool.
also get the
If I
dossier
open a special
treatment. So
treatment,
here
and
we
these ones
see-
do that. They nail it.
We'll see the next one. There we are. Curious Cadaver,
The meddling
Gleaming
youth.
Geardrake, and Meddling
Ruh-roh.
Youths. Again, the meddling youths, you got to read the flavor text. Chaotic but surprisingly fearless, often seen in the company of a strangely intelligent hound.
Are
So
they setting?
each of
Are
these
they
will give
actually?
you more
Are they actually
information on
setting up
the
a
case
Scooby Doo
that
thing,
you're
or are they just
seeking.
memeing,
But
like
you're
getting
gonna
as
have to
close
look
as they
deeper
can
on
without
some of
violating
these
copyright?
dossier cards,
Are we
because
gonna get a
there's
Scooby Doo
invisible
Secret Lair?
ink treatment.
Hey, what's up, Captain?
Let's take a little look. This is Alquist Prof.
Ooh, okay.
Real close, and then shine a little light on it.
Oh,
So
that's
each of these invisible ink treatment cards.
That's cool. That's a cool idea. That fits the theme. There's got to be a Scooby. There's no way they're doing that
now,
without doing a Scooby
Doo. That may look familiar.
They're doing it. That's got to. Meddling Kid's gonna be reskinned. Is
there are only
like
7 cards
whatever.
that get this treatment, including Aurelia and Rakdos.
Smuggler's Copter is the
saw
magical
earlier.
mystery buster.
These are going to
whatever.
be 6 guild leaders, as well as the guild pact himself, Niv Mizzet, are all going to get this treatment.
Guild
so only
leaders?
7
I thought
of
we were
these
not
will
doing
get the
guilds.
Ravnica City
We are doing
treatment.
guilds?
And each of these will additionally come in a serialized version. So we've got a video of Aurelia serialized. So there's going to be 7 of these cards serialized out of 250 guild leaders and Niv Mizzet only.
I very much agree with Richard on this. That
now,
like you can't have the serialized cards just be the same as the non-serialized one.
So for this,
like, what's the point? Like, give a new art, make it look different. Like
the game that.
Why am I paying 100 times the price?
We've got Ravnica Clue Edition, and this is going to be a fantastic mix of Magic and Clue. If you're a
plus
fan
guaranteed
of Clue,
Shockland,
like
guaranteed
I
Shockland.
am, going to scratch a particular.
There's a guaranteed Shockland.
So
Shock.
we're
That's
talk more
a
about
sign
the rules
of Shocklands.
as we
Shocklands might be coming back.
16th,
guaranteed shock. Oh, it's a guaranteed shock. Yeah.
Actually, we're going to talk about this one, I think, on January 23rd. But basically, the way Ravnica Clue Edition is going to work is you're going to get some packs, much like Jumpstart, shuffle them together, play a game. There will also be some clues, like Clue, and you're going to have to figure out the person, place, and weapon for who done it. So you're going to play a game of Magic, and in doing certain things in the game, you're going to unlock the ability to ask questions.
So it's kind of like
you
Magic,
do
but
in
not
the game
exactly
of
Magic.
Clue. And if you make an accusation with the right person, place, and weapon, you will actually win the game that way by solving the case. Now, there's going to be some individual cards in this.
Guaranteed Shockland.
Let's take a look at a few of them. First up, we've got Senator Peacock. So these are all the beloved Clue characters.
Artifacts you control clues in
for
addition
Magic.
to the
Senator Peacock,
other
3
types. Whenever you sack a clue, target creature can't be blocked.
legendary creature. Human advisor.
Is there some
Artifacts
combo
you
for turning
control
all your
are
creatures into
in addition
clues?
to their
Maybe.
other types, and have 2 sacrifice this artifact.
So these, I assume, are
draw
not
a
standard
card.
legal. They can't
Whenever you
be,
sacrifice
right?
a clue, target creature.
Oh no, these are
blocked
universes
this
beyond.
turn. So you may accuse Senator Peacock of being the murderer. Now we're also going to see
with the
murder
candlestick
weapon and the
in the
runes.
conservatory
Next card. So this is the lead pipe. This is a clue equipment. It costs a single black mana. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, and whenever equipped creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life.
Okay.
And you can sacrifice the lead pipe.
I mean, that is a lead pipe.
Because it's a clue.
Well done, Clint
now,
Lockwood.
The weapons.
You know your pipes.
There are rooms, there are suspects.
Are they going to have rooms
there
too?
are
Show us a
weapons.
room.
The weapons alone are actually found in the main set of Karlov Manor. So lead pipe will actually be also found in the main set of Murders at Karlov Manor.
Every single thing
along
is a
with
freaking
things
clue in
like
this
rope
set.
and
Everything
knife
is
and all your classic clue
lead
weapons.
pipe.
Finally,
Lead pipe.
for locations, we have dining room. You'll see more of these, of course, but dining room enters the battlefield tap. You can tap
So these are
add
not
red
standard
or black.
legal,
and
I
then,
don't
much
think.
like magnifying glass we saw before,
Okay,
4 and a
I
tap,
mean,
and you can
not
investigate.
efficient, but lands that are pay 7 to draw a
So
card.
you'll play a game of Magic. You'll
Yeah,
try to
actually,
solve the murder. And
they're uncommon.
you
that's
can
actually
you can also
cool.
win by just playing Magic.
That's not.
That
Oh, that's
happens as
actually good. I was thinking they'd
well.
be rares,
Now,
but they're
as
actually
a bonus,
uncommon.
Ravnica Clue Edition. Now,
I don't know how much
I'm
this
gonna
will matter
tell you
in
right
Clue
now,
Edition,
Murders
but
at Karlov Manor does not have Shocklands in it. You heard it here first. But that's
no
because,
shocks.
Ravnica Clue Edition is going to scratch that itch a little bit, and we're going to have Shocklands in Ravnica Clue Edition. So they are going to be made up to look like Clue rooms.
I swear to God, little mini rant here. More Shocklands, great, awesome. Whenever they have a set that they don't think is gonna sell, like we saw this with Infinity, right? And now they have this weird Clue Edition. Whenever there's a weird set that they don't know if it's gonna sell, they're just like fancy shocks, throw in the fancy shocks. Throw them in, fancy shocks.
Edition. Around the world, it's known as either Clue
Every
or
time.
Cluedo, and we're going to follow suit. So you may see Cluedo, you may see Clue. It's going to be the same fantastically cool product. This one's going to come out a little bit after Murders at Karlov Manor. Again, we'll talk more about this as we get closer to January 16th. Not finally. Moving along, I noted earlier that there is a larger mystery afoot. And
lead pipe.
as part of this set, not only are you solving a series of murders, but there is a mystery woven into the set itself. In fact, there are a series of puzzles that you are going to solve. They're going to be woven into the set. There's going to be, they're going to be able to find bits and pieces of it on social, parts of it on the card, parts of it in other places. That particular puzzle will begin at pre-release.
You know, they're gonna do the crossover. They have
be a
to.
series of, I believe, 15 puzzles and then one meta puzzle. And once it is solved, it will unlock information about the future of Magic. Now, if you're itching to get into this mystery, we're right there with you. So much so that the very first story, the first episode of the Murders at Karlov Manor story is going to be up today after the conclusion of this program. Episode 1 for the Murders at Karlov Manor will go up on dailymtg.com.
This is why I don't buy. They make it sound like...
definitely want to check that out.
They make it sound like we got to do spoilers 2 months early so local game stores know if they got to order. But local game stores don't need the story, right? They don't need to publish issue 1 of the story, so it can't be about that. Doesn't that contradict the argument that, we just have to do these super early spoilers for LGSs?
You'll be able to play along and learn more about the mystery as it unravels as we head into Murders at Karlov Manor. Finally, one last call out. Murders at Karlov Manor is going to come out ahead of Magic Con Chicago, and Magic Con Chicago is going to be the place
they should have
to
Maro
be
do it. Maro's so hyped.
For playing with
Maro's
Murders
just
at
so
Karlov
hyped.
Manor. Not only is the Pro Tour going to feature Murders at Karlov Manor, but there is a 75K
Chicago
standard event.
I am planning on being in Chicago, so if you're in Chicago,
you'll be able
come
to play
in, come
some
and
of
say
those
hello.
spells like Lightning, Helix, like the new Junior Investigator Novice Inspector, as well as a slew of other mysterious and powerful cards heading into that. So head to mtgfestivals.com for more information on that. That is everything we have to reveal today.
Interesting.
But I trust that you'll begin your investigation as soon as possible.
Okay.
We have the debut coming on January 16th, but look for the story before.
So what do you think? What do you think? So what do we learn? So we're going back to Ravnica. It's a murder mystery set that isn't really about guilds, but like kind of about guilds. Ooh, yeah, you might be right, Stone Rain. You might be right. We'll see. Yeah, they probably add that one. Did they add that one? Maybe they add that one. But I think you were kind of right. That would allow for that combo if that one is added. It feels a little Capenna-y. Visually, I can see some of the Capenna flavor. So what are the big takeaways? So I think, honestly, out of all the cards we've seen today, I'm probably most hyped about Helix actually coming back to Standard for the first time since literal Ravnica in like 2006 or something. Like, it's been a long time. We're talking almost 20 years. And you know what? If they can put Helix in Standard, maybe we can get Bolt in Standard. It might be possible, right? Like, if they're willing to go to the Helix route, maybe they're willing to go one little step further and actually put Bolt back in Standard. So that's actually really exciting. Aurelia, I think, is a very powerful card. Like, I think Aurelia might be Standard playable. 5 mana 4/4 Flying Vigilance Haste, good starting point. Assuming this is the top end of your aggro curve and you're going wide, it's probably coming down and drawing you a card and maybe even dealing some damage. And notice the way it's worded, it triggers on your opponent's attacks as well. So if you're playing a commander game, that's actually kind of a cunning way to like design this card so it'll work in Standard, but you get a little boost in power in in multiplayer formats, where if your opponents are attacking each other, you're still potentially drawing cards, maybe dealing some damage, gaining some life. Helix is Lightning Helix. And then, hey, thank you for the raid, Soloris. We're just finishing up talking about the new preview stream. Rakdos. I mean, Rakdos is good. I don't know. Do you think it's Standard good? So 6 mana 6/6 Flying Trample. At the beginning of your end step, either your opponent sacks 2 non-land non-tokens. If they don't, you draw 2 cards. I mean, a 6 mana 6/6 that draws you 2 cards, that's like the world's biggest Muldrifter, right? Like, they can't sack tokens, so drawing cards is probably realistic. It triggers end step, so even if it dies, like if it only makes it 1 turn, it's still fine. Probably not, but maybe like a one of. Maybe as a one of. I love this treatment. Give me a ranking chat on this treatment. So I forget what they even called it, but this one here that looks like they're typing out the want ad or whatever, the posters. I think this is like S tier. Like, it's so good. Oh man, so many raiders. Amazonian, welcome you as well. Oh, hello everyone. We're just wrapping up the spoiler stream. Actually, we're watching Murders at Karlov Manor. I really love this treatment. This treatment for me is one of the best they've ever done, and I want more of this. I want more. Thank you so much for the raids, everyone, and welcome raiders. I really want more of the dossier style treatments. It just looks so unique. It stands out. It fits the theme of the set. If you open it in a pack, you're going to know it's something special. And that's what I want. I don't want an erase border. I don't want the same art on my serialized cards. I want something different. I want to know as soon as I see that special treatment, I'm going to be like, yes, I opened something good. And I think this treatment really nails it. So I'm really excited for that. What do we think about Elquist? 3 mana 3/3, Vigilance, ETB Clue. And then Sphinx's Revelation. Pay 3 and X. Tap, sack a clue. You draw X and lose X. I think that card's very good. I think it's very good because, yeah, the treatment tile, I think I would give it an S tier. The invisible ink idea is it's very like flavorful for the set. I bet it'll look good in paper too. The like invisible ink foil thing is really cool. I think the reason I think the Elquist might be good, ignore that last ability. We've seen like Briarbridge Tracker, right? See some play. And that's a 3 mana 2/3 or a 4/3 if you have a clue. The ETBs makes a clue. But I think just like, even if you're very rarely using the Sphinx's Revelation mode, I think just the 3 mana 3/3 with Vigilance, the ETB makes a clue and you can cash in later. I think that's enough. I don't know if you play 4 of them, but it's in good colors in standard. So I actually think Elquist has a chance to be like a good standard card. Ooh, yes, that's right. That's right. We have Training Grounds in standard too. Here's the link to the Goldfish site where all the cards are linked. Anything else that stands out? I mean, Novus Inspector, Thrabes, 8 Thrabes. Novus Inspector makes its return. Oh, what about this one? Am I too critical of this card? So I know this is like a promo. Usually with promos, they pick cards they think are going to be good. For some reason, Wojak Investigator strikes me as a commander card. Maybe I'm wrong. Can this card see play outside of commander? So it's formatted like Righteous Valkyrie, kind of 3 mana 2/4 flying Vigilance. So fine body, like not an absurd body, but a fine body. At the beginning of your upkeep, you investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. The thing that I'm skeptical about with Wojak Investigator in 1v1 formats is like, if your opponent doesn't have more cards than you, it's just a 2/4 flyer, right? I guess Vigilance, but like, it doesn't really do anything. In Commander, I can imagine it being very good because you have 3 opponents, so your odds of having someone who's going to trigger is high, and the possibility of triggering it multiple times a turn is also there. I think this is the card I'm least excited about, honestly, out of the rares that we've seen. I like Elquist a lot. I think Rakdos is sweet. I think Aurelia is really strong. I think that's probably the strongest standard card that we've seen out of these rares. I'm also intrigued by Demand Answers. So we've seen 2 mana, discard a card, draw 2 cards, be playable in red. That's what Tormenting Voice, right? That's where we kind of started this effect. This comes with a little extra upside of you can also just sack an artifact. We're in a standard, we got bloods, we got clues now. We're gonna have tons of clues. We got treasures. There's a lot of just random useless artifacts sitting around. In some cases, if you're playing like Surge Injure or some other effects, like it can actually be beneficial to be sacrificing the artifact. So I actually think Demand Answers is a really interesting card that could see some play out of the lower rarity cards. I mean, discounting Helix, which Helix. Maps, yes, Maps is another perfect example. So I think that Demand Answers might actually be pretty good just because it lines up well with the context of what's going on in standard. So I would say overall, do we have anything else here? Oh, these cards. Meddling Use, I will put my money on it right now. There's going to be a Scooby-Doo secret lair drop. There's got to be. It's just like everything about it like screams like it's going to be reskin. They're going to reskin a Scooby-Doo secret lair drop. There's no chance that they don't. What were the other ones? Oh, I guess there was nothing super relevant from the Clue edition. So these are all the standard ones. They're also doing the Clue edition. Main news there is Shocklands being reprinted. What are the what is the current price of shocks? Like, what are we looking at for like just the cheapest version right now? $10-ish. So we're looking at probably around $10. How low can shocks go? What's watery grave at? So we're looking at, okay, $10 to $12, $9 to $12. What is the cheapest? What is the cheapest shock at the moment? All right, let's just say roughly $10. So this reprint, so they're not being reprinted in standard. They're going to be in the Clue edition. I bet that means the price, I don't know. They're guaranteeing one in every box. How much does Ravnica Clue edition cost? I mean, a guaranteed fetch land in every box is actually kind of nice. So it was 8 booster packs. If they're selling it for like fat pack prices or bundle prices, just getting, like, if you buy a bundle for normal prices and you get a free shock land and this game build in, that would actually be sweet. If it's like $100 for Ravnica Clue edition or something, it loses some value. I don't know. I think that it would probably bring down the prices of shocks a bit. I don't know if they'll get all the way down to $5 like someone asked, but I do think it will help. I do think it'll help a bit with prices. Well, I gotta say, the set actually looks pretty sweet. I'm actually kind of hyped for it. If it's 40 to 50 for Ravnica Clue edition, I think that's a really good deal, right? Because a bundle is already 40 to 50. You're getting the same amount of packs. You're getting a guaranteed shock land, and you get to play a game with it. Although maybe like, I don't know, they also mentioned Jumpstart, and Jumpstart tends to be like underpowered cards. So I guess we'll have to see more of the unique cards. Like the one that they showed off, it was fine. The thing that like makes all your artifacts clues, it was okay, but it wasn't like super pushed or anything. So I guess we'll have to see the power level of that. But I will say, for being a really like weird, unique theme, I think this set's gonna be really, really cool. I'm more excited about it now than I was going into it. Going into it, I was like, I don't really know what to expect. Is it even gonna be good? We've went to Ravnica a ton of times, but this seems like there's a big twist on it. Investigating clues are an amazing mechanic. It's just like such a great mechanic. So I actually think this is gonna be a really cool set. I'm actually like pretty excited now about this one. So anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end for today. So we played a bit of New Modern, got a little bit stomped in New Modern, but we did do the Enigma Jewel thing. We did it. We pulled it off somehow.
That's okay though.
So we did some New Modern. We got to check out some spoilers. Now I have to talk spoilers on the YouTube channel. So I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. Reminders though on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, if you want a more in-depth discussion of all these new cards, you should check it out, because there's going to be a spoiler video on the YouTube very shortly. I was trying to get a raid set up for Aspiring Spike. And one more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/FTDGoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. Thanks for hanging out, playing Magic, talking spoilers. I love y'all. We will be back next Tuesday, I think, for some Timeless. If it's up in time, it should launch next Tuesday. So if it's up when we stream next Tuesday, we'll definitely be Timelessing. Until then, everyone, check out the YouTube. Be good. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon.